sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10.
Oh, man. It's the last party of the weekend. This is 10 Drink Minimum. I'm your host, and this show is sponsored by Topo Chico Seltzer. No Smiley today so far. I have no idea where he is. So I brought in the British to help. Craig Buchanan from
right.
Gilead Rises is here.
Good morning, evening, afternoon.
Welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate being here, especially under the supervision of this vicious beast.
The dog. Yeah. The evil, mean dog is
Yep.
keeping you at bay.
Yep.
And then today's a special day. Today is literally, I mean, it's not close to, it's the actual anniversary, 18 years that this show started. And I got some cinnamon cake, and I forgot to bring it out here. I'll get it at the break, though. 18 years ago, I started this show in a little house on the north side of Portales, New Mexico.
Wow.
60 or odd shows ago. many ago. And the funny thing is like the guest we have today was on this show 10 years ago this month. From the band Shoulder Voices, we have Little Bobby Tucker. Welcome to the show, Little Bobby.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Man, you posted that picture, and it's kind of like an iconic picture of our show. Like every time I see it, I think of that that night, and I'm like, man, it was just really fun. Those days, like 10 years ago, like, man, what the fuck, like I was like on the cusp of 40 years old, and we were at the art bar. We were kind of like wide-eyed, in the middle of an art renaissance of sorts downtown. I believe the music scene was thriving. The poetry, slam poetry scene was thriving. The comedy scene was just starting to kind of take off, I think. Right? Do you remember? I mean, what do you remember from then?
Selfishly, I mostly remember that I was not thriving because I was like, I feel like it was 2013, maybe, or 14,
2014,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so I had a rough 2012 and 13, and I got a broken heart about that year, and then it took me a couple years to.
Oh yeah.
Like I was really fucked up for.
You were
years, and I had to work on anger. Still working on that, but angry at myself, angry at the situation more than the girl. Wrote a whole record about it, so that was good.
That sounds right.
Took me about a couple years to, I guess it was the end of 14. Met my wife, and boom.
Well, I remember
we're 10 years
started. You started running. You were doing like marathons, and. You had like started to take care of yourself. I don't think I were you drinking at that time?
A little bit.
Okay.
For a while I didn't.
But you were like all about like yoga and marathons, and you probably still are yoga at least. I don't know.
Yeah, I was dabbling with it as opposed to none. Yeah. So it felt like I was all about it. But then like the woman I went out to marry, she was like a yoga teacher. She was actually
right.
yoga. But yeah, I was doing that. There was a temple I went to quite a bit, especially back then.
Yeah.
No girlfriend, no kids.
Yeah, and you were
there was
working.
A period I had no job, so it was like,
well, you were working at the co-op, I think, when I met you.
Okay.
And then I think I remember like somebody somehow. Well, no, you worked at a grocery store and someone bought it, and then they like got rid of you.
Yeah, that was
because they didn't like the
Whole Foods. And I was there for like 12 years. Didn't miss a day of work.
They didn't like the way you looked.
They did not. Yeah.
Big Daddy Amazon's
the woman that fired me was like, I came in with some pink striped socks, and she was like, Bobby, she got real close to me so as to not, alarm everyone around.
Yeah.
Bobby, I already let you wear the glitter. and now you're doing the socks.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yes.
Socks?
And I was like 5 years into working for this particular woman.
Wow.
And she had a mullet. That's what's most important.
She had a mullet.
It's because she was questioning my whatever and had an issue with it. And I'm like, look at your mullet. Like, I've never mentioned your mullet.
I'm sorry, Becky.
And you're not Ziggy Stardust. You're not pulling it off.
Right.
But still, that's you. You have a bad mullet. I always disliked you for you.
Is there
not for your mullet.
Is there a good mullet? I'm not a mullet person.
I'm not generally, but I definitely reserve the right
what do you think?
for people to have a good mullet.
You think Craig could rock a mullet?
I would look creepy as fuck. Like, nah. But Dominic Mysterio rocks a good mullet.
He does. He honestly, one of the best mullet. But you know why he rocks that though, right? He's trying to do the Eddie Guerrero because But anyway, but like back in those days, like I just knew you like I've never known you not in shoulder voices. I guess there was a time you weren't doing shoulder voices, but I guess you before that.
That was 2013 or so when we met. I was like 11 years into that already.
Into shoulder voices? Really?
2002 we started.
So it's kind of interesting because like there was a time where you were gone. You left. You moved to Santa Fe, and the world shut down, and the scene like completely changed. Like people like Craig appeared, you know.
Hello.
And and then like one day I was in Launchpad, and out of nowhere there's fucking little Bobby Tucker out of nowhere, and you were like, "I'm back."
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And it was really crazy because it was one of those things where like every once in a while you would do something on social media and I'd go, "Oh yeah, little Bobby."
Still exist.
Like and then now you're like full throttle back. So what did you do for all that time you were gone?
2017 moved up to Santa Fe.
Okay.
Did the band
2017?
Yeah. It was right after the big orange election. We didn't get President Clinton. That's all I want to say about that.
Okay.
And Ryan had quit the band. Several members had quit the band. It was basically down to my wife and I. And, I had a couple other people there for a while. I became the drummer. That's how bad things had gotten. Yeah. And I had never been a drummer. Did that about 6 months or so. The Burts had become the new Burts. That wasn't going well.
No.
The world just was feeling shitty. I did about 6 months from Santa Fe where I was going back and forth with band members and, play a show at the new Burts and then drive an hour to Santa Fe. It was just a bummer. And after a while, I was like, why am I doing this? I've been doing this every fucking week for 17 years, and now I'm like, why? And I haven't really asked myself why before that. I have this, like, beautiful wife. We lived outside of Santa Fe. Like, a lot of people say, I want to get a little cabin in the woods, like that whole fantasy I used to hear like years ago from wannabe hippies. Yeah. This was kind of like that, except it was like a nice ranch. I knew the person that owned it. We had a just chance to live like outside, not even Santa Fe, but outside of Santa Fe.
Right.
We go there, and I'm like, why am I leaving this to go to this like not so great bar, Burt's, and I wasn't playing much at Launchpad.
What a shithole that place was, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't playing much at Launchpad that particular year, and I was just down on everything. So my wife and I one night in our hot tub. That's how rough life was, and I was like, why am I leaving this to go do that? And so I just decided, I was like, I'm going to stop and take a break. Maybe I'll do a few months from now when they do the Halloween. And that Halloween was actually when I decided in my own mind, I was like, I'm not going to even bother to get together and do a Halloween show because whatever. I'm like, let's have a baby. So my wife and I decided to have a baby because
that's what you do.
It's that easy sometimes. And I'm not like trying to mock fertility or anything like that, but some guys need to get off their ass and maybe just
are you pointing at me?
It's on them.
Are you pointing at me?
No, I'm just
I don't need no babies.
The people that sometimes the guy's the problem, I guess, is my point. People
problem.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
People do these expensive fertility clinics. It's kind of there's like a stigma like on the woman, and a lot of times it's just low sperm count or low sperm drive.
I'm just gonna say here, no, I had that fucking problem. Well, not that problem. I had a problem.
Yeah.
Gave up on having kids with my wife, and the moment I gave up. Like a month later, she tells me she's pregnant.
Boom. Oh, wow. Gabe Gambino screams out Bobby because he does that randomly in his home. Bobby!
Right after we had the child, like 9 months old, then the pandemic happened. And I was like, boom! I was already just quit everything, and now everything else quit. And
the world's all, we need to flush the Albuquerque scene. Let's shut the whole world.
I'm glad I wasn't like halfway through a record or like I don't know, like really invested in something. I was just kind of like doing nothing, working part time. My wife was working part time. We felt semi-retired.
Oh wow.
Life is good.
When I was speaking of the fertility thing, you're right. I get up every morning and I hit myself right in the balls right away just to,
to make sure it doesn't.
Just to remind yourself not to.
Gabe Gambino says, I got Mexican blood. I need a sponsorship from Plan B. Oh, I see. God. Wow, Jesus.
Gambino.
That's Gabe Gambino saying that, not 10 Drink Minimum.
That's Gambino Bear, as everyone knows him.
From the band Man High.
My goodness.
So then, like, during the pandemic, you have how many kids now?
2.
Mm-hmm. I went over to your house the other day for like someone's birthday. And
my birthday.
Your birthday / housewarming.
Housewarming.
Thank you, by the way.
Got a new house.
I had a good time. But like there was kids, so I didn't know whose kids were who. Because kids are kids and they just go crazy. As kids do.
Oh, they sure do.
Let's see. Gabe Gambino. Too bad Man High survived the flush. We are floaters. Wow. No.
His words, not mine.
So my question now, I guess, to you is like, you went just shoulder voice, 17 years. Mm-hmm. That doesn't include like Unit 7 Drain.
No, Unit 7 Drain was shoulder voices for about a year and a half. Then I joined Unit 7 Drain, which was like a very established band in terms of 2003 Albuquerque. And I basically like skipped over all the work of driving shoulder voices in terms of like who we are. People had barely seen us. We only did like weeknights at Burt's or the Golden West and shit like that. And then I joined this other band as a keyboard player, and boom, they started with me on tour in case I fucked up. I wasn't like at the hometown. We did like 3 nights in Colorado, came back Friday or maybe Saturday in front of the launch pad, and it was like packed. There were like 4 or 5 bands, and I remember roughly counting, there were like 300 people, and I was like, holy shit. I was like,
shit. And
I fucked up a little bit, and it's recorded, but I did mostly really good, and
so
mostly I was like, I can't believe I'm like playing with like this drummer and these other people, and like I'm in this different band, and that went on for 6 years, and Shoulder Voices was just every once in a while during that time.
Sure. But my question to you then, now that you took that break, you're older, like, we're all kind of older now, I mean, we all are. I mean, I don't know how Craig is,
I'll be 44
but he's
soon.
old. He's older.
See, he's up there, yeah.
I'm up there.
I mean, he's older than he was. As are you.
I'm up there.
I'm older than I was just then.
We're 10 years. We're 10 years older than the last time we did this. How do you feel about your career now as you did then? Like, what's the difference? Like, musically,
the whole point back then, like the several 3-4 years of that period was all finishing that one record about a heartbreak, and a couple years into that I met this new person that became like my wife and kid, but I was still finishing up this record singing songs about this heartbreak, and we had a bass player okay, let's reset, and we had it just took several more years to record a record than it had before that. So anyways, it was at one point like a year or so into that, my girlfriend at the time's like, I'm getting kind of tired of singing these songs about your ex-girlfriend. When are you going to write some songs about me? And I was like, I don't know how to write a happy song. I have been single for 13 years until I met you. The whole reason in 2002 I started this band with my buddy Clifford was because I got dumped then. And then I went single for more than a decade.
Weren't you like celibate or something?
A little bit, yeah. But I still got my heart broken during that when I was single by somebody that wasn't technically a girlfriend. It was one of those stupid, messy situations because I was fucking around with them. Yeah, they were also in the band. Got really fucking messy. After that, then I became celibate for like a couple years. I was like, not that people were throwing, sexual organs at me or anything, but I was just kind of like,
keep them away.
What the fuck am I doing? Why am I having sex with people I don't know? Why am I having sex with people I do know? What am I fucking doing? And gave up masturbation even briefly. However many months.
It was
hardcore for a while, but I don't recommend that. Too long.
But now, like you're like older. Like what I'm trying to say is like now you're older. You got the band back together. We're getting the band back together, man.
As they say, I went around and found each person.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
In the middle of what they were doing. One guy was fishing with an old net.
Yeah.
This is
Like-
a film
like
right
biblical
here.
films.
There
Yeah.
should be a
I was
montage
like,
for this
"Man,
moment.
You coming back on trumpet, bro?" And he was like, "Sure, let me finish."
He
up."
just dropped the net and he's all he's all excited. So like one of the guys, I met one of the guys in the band that I didn't know, and he was the sound guy at Burt's back in the day.
Right, Mark. I
Yeah,
believe.
and I was like, "Oh wow, shit!" And he's like, "I used to watch these guys play, and now I'm in the band." I was like, well, "That's fucking crazy." So, like, what is your perspective now, though, with this? I mean, when restarting the band, like why? And I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Because I was watching other people play music after I moved back to town.
Yeah.
And
Oh, well, why did you guys move back to town? First of all,
got tired of Santa Fe.
Yeah.
So we get up there for about a year and a half. We get married. You're in a little honeymoon period. Have a child. Then there's a pandemic. Then we wanted to get out of Santa Fe because we felt like we'd been on the moon for a couple years because it was just like me and her, and then me and her and the baby, and
yeah,
almost nobody else. I mean, we'd have to drive. Santa Fe doesn't have much going on in terms of like.
No.
Well, first of all, there's a little small music scene there,
Yeah.
and there was like one person at the time controlling a few things. We couldn't bust in,
For real?
and it was like, okay, we were not getting offered.
What kind?
shows or whatever.
What kind of music are you talking?
It's like bars, breweries, whatever venues they.
Well,
had.
I mean, like what kind of bands though?
Oh,
rock.
rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock. Whatever venues they had in like.
And they're all
2017.
Bobby. They lean in and they're all Bobby. I already let you wear the glitter.
And the pink socks.
Now you want to play here?
You want to play here now? I don't think
No,
so.
we already have
Becky Mullet.
We already have 4 bands we rotate through.
Becky Mullet's all now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I went to a Halloween show actually at Launchpad and saw my
Yeah.
friends play, and I was like, I'm a little jealous right now
Oh shit.
because I'm not playing. And we had already had our second baby at that point. And
Yeah.
it just felt like
You're just babying it on down
Yeah,
the road.
But
Yeah,
decided we
babies.
were done because decided.
See, and pretty soon the babies will get older, and then you don't need the other band members. You'll just have the babies. It's like the Partridge Family,
I was thinking that.
which
a long time
I feel
ago.
like you're a big Partridge Family person
I am.
because you're a big Monkees fan.
I do have one Partridge Family
You,
vinyl.
you love the Beach Boys and the Monkees, like passionately,
Passionately.
right?
What was that concept album the Monkees did that? It was like supposed to be pretty out there.
I don't know.
It's the one that like the Beatles liked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. Like the Beatles were
I'm
actually
gonna
into
look it up now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know about a concept. I can tell you when they basically
It was
had-
like one word. The title.
there were
of the album
studio
was.
headquarters. Maybe there was a studio. They had studio musicians that were running kind
Right.
of the musical show for a couple of records. In their third record,
They did
they insisted on playing all their
I
instruments.
think that's the one that
themselves.
the Beatles liked. Yeah.
And it became kind of like a raw punk sound because they didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Some of them did, some of them didn't, and they went from professional Wrecking Crew LA session guys
Right.
to Mickey Dolenz being the drummer, and he wasn't even a drummer except
Yeah.
for maybe 6 months before that. He started because he got
It's-
cast as the
It trips me
drummer
out like how
in
many
the
people
TV show.
don't know shit about the Wrecking Crew, and it's like pretty much most of the music you listen to growing up from the 60s and the 70s were all fucking the Wrecking Crew.
It's called Head.
Head. Okay.
Well, that's the soundtrack to their movie.
Oh, yeah, that's
there you
right.
go.
So that's why I don't think of it as a concept album.
And the
because-
movie was kind of out there, wasn't it?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I haven't
man,
seen it.
the movie is amazing if you're into late '60s psychedelia. It's like a prototype for Monty Python in a lot of ways. It's
Yeah.
1968, so
Right.
I guess that's maybe during the Flying Circus, but it's before the Python movies, and that's when I watched it in the '90s. I was like, that's the feel of this. Like, has
Yeah.
the humor and the music's great. Jack Nicholson produced the
Oh, wow.
soundtrack for them and co-wrote the
Weird.
movie
What?
before he was an actor.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Like he's all, hey guys, we're gonna make a movie.
And they used the producers who did the Monkees then kind of collapsed the Monkees and used whatever money they had remaining. That movie was a bomb head, but they used their money to then do Easy Rider, 5 Easy Pieces.
That's right. Yeah, and
And
Easy Rider was
launch a
fucking-
bunch of
yeah.
careers from that.
Easy Rider for sure.
And all from the Monkees.
And it was the same producers.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I did read something like that. Isn't it weird how all that shit ties together? Gabe Gambino, this motherfucker always on. Chris never invites me over. Because you know why? I'll tell Gabe why. Because Gabe won't let me talk. I'm the host of this show, and you have Gabe on, and he's just like a Mack truck, just. I love you, Gabe.
I just sit here quiet until he looks at me and gives me the signal. He gives me the eyes.
I'm just happy Craig didn't wear his like Union Jack
I'm
shirt.
not wearing it after we lost.
Did you guys lose?
We lost in the final today, yeah.
Oh.
I
don't even know. Is this soccer?
Yeah, we lost in the Euros. It's where all the
Gabe,
not all of them.
Gabe says that's very true about him running me over.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not going to talk about. I'm American now.
Yeah.
And then he said, "I'm sorry."
He's fine. I know someone. So we did the. I do professional wrestling here, the Duke City Championship Wrestling, and someone watched it. One of my coworkers, and they're all, "Why does that guy keep talking over you?" I was like, "I don't know."
This is the code.
It's Gabe.
Your code. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean during that episode?
Yeah.
The 10-week episode?
No. We're doing the commentary because Gabe was on the commentary with Gabe and another person.
Okay.
And Kathy Schroeder, I introduced Bobby to Ryan at a Sugar Babies burlesque show.
Wow. What the hell?
Kathy
How
Schroeder.
come I didn't know that? I remember meeting Ryan at that Sugar
Yeah.
Babies. That I don't remember her introduced. I had no idea that she was at that show.
He said that I kicked him off commentary. I did.
Wow.
I did not. But Kathy
Sugar
Schroeder is a fan of the show because she's a beautiful person. I love Ryan's parents, the Schroeders. Where was I going?
Every oldies show my wife and I go to, we see Ryan's mom,
Oh,
Kathy, there.
hey,
And
I'm
we're
sure
like,
that-
it's Ryan's parents. That's what we used to say the first few, casino oldie shows. And then the next one, my wife would be like, "Do you think we're going to see Ryan's parents?" I'm like, they have a name, and it's
Mom and Dad.
Kathy.
Mom and Dad.
Phil.
Nice. Smiley said he's on his way. He had car trouble. That means he was sleeping.
Smiley, you're not watching, so I won't say anything.
He's on his way. He said that he's out. Gabe said he was out of Ritalin, and that was the issue.
Whoa.
So now that you're back in the scene, like how much has changed? How much is the same? Because you took, a good amount of time off.
6 years.
6 years.
The thing that's changed is the people.
Yeah.
Some of the people.
A lot of the people, I would
A
say.
lot of the people. Maybe more than half, whatever. 80,
Yeah.
I don't know, 60, 87%. I don't know how to quantify that.
I think it's like around 80%.
That's the only thing that has changed.
But I mean,
Except for like there's
it's-
a wallet sister or other like minor details, but
Yeah,
mainly
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the people.
what trips me out about that is like you have people that get upset about that. And it's like, well, if they were doing well, they would still be back. If they were like, bringing a crowd, they'd still be doing it,
You have because you've heard like they're upset that
Like you go to Night Living
have-
cover bands. You go to Night Living cover bands, and there's always like one or two people from back in the day, and they're like, I don't know any of these bands.
Yeah.
Every time, and then I have the same fucking answer for them. Well, then it's good you're here because now you get to see a bunch of bands you would have never seen.
Right.
You would have never gone out to see, and
right. And that's why like one of the reasons I love doing those shows.
and this is my opinion, but the scene had gotten to the point where you had an old guard that was refusing to walk away and like yield to the younger, and then the pandemic went bye and shut them all down, and then they were like, okay, and anybody who was worth anything stayed, and anybody who was like I'm not saying they weren't worth anything, anybody who was like just done was done. You know what I mean? And you had all the people who were hungry come out, and you got this younger generation. And I'm not saying they're better at music. It's just rock and roll's for the young. It is, sadly. But I mean, at this point, like you're back, you're playing again. Were you welcomed back by the new people, or was it like a kind of a rough?
I was welcomed back by the people like you when I went out
Yeah.
that one particular night that I hadn't been out in forever, and like several people were like, "Whoa, haven't seen you in forever!" Look, and I got that reaction from like quite a
Yeah.
few people, and I was like, "Wow, if I died in a spaceship crash, I feel like some of these people would have actually missed me."
We would have.
And 20 years earlier,
Yeah.
nobody would have missed me.
Ground
Aw.
control would be looking for you.
I moved here with one girl. She dumped me, and I was like, "All right, I know one person in this whole state," and then that was.
Nah.
Let's start a band
Let's start a band. Fuck it.
and write songs for a
Kathy
decade.
says, we were outside at a fire pit. I was visiting with Bobby, and Ryan came out. Bobby asked, is that your son, and would he be interested in playing in a band?
"Wow,
Dang, that sounds like you though.
I do not remember the fire pit. I remember it was a Christmas show. And there was a lot of like half naked sugar babies, and that was the main reason I went. I was like, oh, there's a burlesque show.
Oh. Yeah. I was like babies. What the fuck?
And they had this drummer and there maybe a piano player, and they were doing a duo. They were backing some of the girls on some of the pieces, or they were playing like interlude music. And I just watched through, I don't know, 2 hours as they're playing this. Well, the drummer's really good, lots of jazz and shit. And after the show, I walked up to him. He seemed young enough to ask, and I was like, "Hey, man, you happen to? Oh, that was really good. Do you happen to, play any rock and roll or anything?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I'm in a band looking for a drummer if you're interested." And he came over like a week later, and then he played with us for 6 years. And it was like amazing.
Mm-hmm. Now Youngsville has stolen him away.
Mm-hmm. Although he is playing with us this Thursday at the Launchpad.
How does Carlos feel about that?
I don't know if Carlos knows yet, but our current drummer may or may not be back from a trip on Thursday.
Carlos is gonna be livid.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just starting beef
again.
I'm starting shit.
Carlos
is all Brian, because that's how he talks. I'm just kidding.
Smashing the keyboard.
So what is so like now that the band is back together? What's the goal?
Well, a lot more importantly than the previous go around, the goal is to have fun.
Pull the mic closer.
Because I have a wife and kids, and I have much more limited time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just from day to day, but also on the planet. Not to be too dramatic, but when you're close to 50, you're like, well, I better get on doing what I fucking want to do. Whereas when you're 25, you're like, I'm going to, I don't know, do or not do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Put more thought into it.
Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird how you feel about things like differently? Like how, like the days don't seem as long. Like the days, like you're like, man, I just don't feel like I have enough time to do all the things I want to do. So you kind of have to focus a little more on the things that are important. While you're coming in, will you get me a Topo Chico?
He's got look in his hand.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
I was literally singing about heartbreak and anger for a long time, and now it's like another go around. Like, well, I'm not gonna do that unless.
Are you singing those songs still?
Barely.
Like
touching on them, and they're fun to touch on because they're good. If I do say, some of them are well written, especially the ones that my band members wrote with me, and. I was so mad and so focused for several years. I was like, I'm going to make like the record I fucking want to make. And we worked on it until it almost killed me. And I told my, at the time, girlfriend, I was like, if I die, would you, now that the record's like 90% done or it's finished and it's going to take a couple months to get out, would you please just make sure this record gets out, even if only 10 people hear it, because I've just spent like
Little Bobby Tucker's posthumous record.
Yeah.
You find yourself thinking like that as you get older, though, right? That when I die or if I die kind of mentality.
Not to be too grand, but I was like, I just at least want a few people to hear this.
Right, yeah.
And that's all.
No, I feel you on that. Like, it's...
like a few friends or whatever, and...
Yeah. Well, and like, I think about often, like, it's really weird. Like, I'm like, well, I don't know how, like, or where it'll go or who will have... I need to figure out some way to, like, leave all my passwords and stuff to somebody, but like all of I have a huge library of shows that are curated. I mean, my voice is there, it's out there. There's 800, well, there's not 800 shows, but there's because I don't have like the first 500 shows probably.
Yeah, those are hard to find.
Oh, we don't have a mic on there.
We have a smiley,
but
we don't have a mic.
There we go. Now try it.
Oh, okay. Does it work now?
That's that radio voice.
Alexa, turn the studio lights to red. There you go. Now it looks like the devil.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, welcome, Smiley.
Yes.
Were you sleeping? Don't lie to me.
Yes. That was the first available lie that comes to my
son of a bitch.
That comes to my mind. I have car trouble.
Car trouble.
It's a fucking anniversary show.
I was asleep. I'm
18
very
years.
Sorry. And
how many years have you been on the show?
10 at least.
You've been on the show 10 years?
Thank you.
Oh, you're right, because you were on the show that he was on.
At Art Bar.
And that was 10 years ago.
I was doing sound. I was
God
a sound
almighty,
guy.
Right, but you were not on mic, is that correct?
That's right. I was a sound
and Billy
guy.
was
So 10
there,
years.
and Nicole was on that show. And
Shit, man, I can't believe that was 10 years ago, man.
Gabe said that was the most fun, I guess, that he had seen. I'm not sure if he meant us or at the bar or whatever, but that was
Oh. I don't know.
Most fun I've seen.
It does seem like
we're trying to have more fun.
It does seem like you do.
We got really angry there for a while, and I had to deal with some shit. And fortunately, my band members at the time, like Ryan, Joe Buffalo, Mickey Sanchez, Mary Stockton, all these people, Kevin Elder, they were like, put up with it.
Yeah.
And I listen to those shows now because I have like 80 of them recorded, and I'm like,
I go to your house.
These are great.
I go over to your house, and he has this like CD tower. First of all, he's got way too many fucking aquariums. Like, how many aquariums do you have?
I have only
What is
one.
way too many?
I have 8, and that's maybe one more than I should have.
He has 8.
Okay.
Does that tie into the CDs? Because if he's got CDs in an aquarium, I'm like, I got to see this.
They are right. I know,
they are right next to
I
each
remember
other.
this
Yeah.
music.
So he has a CD tower,
Take me
right?
back.
You remember the old CD tower
yeah.
that you had next to your couch, you know, and it has them like sitting up at an angle. And I'm like, what are those? And he's like, because I was joking, like, you know, they're CDs. And he goes, oh, those are Shoulder Voices shows. And like every single one of them is like a different show. And I was like, do you like sit around and listen to your live shows? Like, what kind of narcissistic
Only
shit
once
is that?
only once when I bring the band back together. I did, which was like about a year ago. I started at the beginning, and it took me until 2 weeks ago to get through them all. So that's like over a year to go through this, because I go like through one every week or so, take an edible, and when I have some free time, I'm like, holy shit, I forgot this person even played in the band, and forgot this happened, and forgot this happened, and each one sounds like more and more as we went, aside from some of the angry songs. It's like listening to a party or like a podcast, like an episode. This person was there, this person was there, I can hear this person laughing between songs. At the end of the show, I can hear this person walk over and like mouthing off, not knowing my microphone is on, or sometimes they did, and they'd be like, Bobby's gonna hear this, and you know, say something inappropriate.
Oh, really? Like into the...
And then I'm like, wow, that person is like living on the streets now as a heroin addict, and I just have this
Jesus.
recording of them.
Person.
I just have this recording of them like talking.
I know exactly
at the
who
end
that
of the
is.
show. And then there's like another one. There's one show where somebody's like, oh, look, they have their CDs here. Oh, yeah, you should get this one. Oh, I don't have that one. They're my favorite local band. And I'm like, don't even know who that is. And that person...
Who is that?
Yeah.
Who's our secret fan?
There's one person in town that we were their favorite local band around 2011.
Is there like a SoundCloud or something with your music on it?
It's on Bandcamp.
There's a Bandcamp.
There's more than just
not
that.
There's not a SoundCloud, but we have like 8 records maybe there.
Click on the link where it says Shoulder Voices.
Here?
Yeah, go to the right. Click
one?
that.
Okay.
And it should show you everything.
On the right, there's like a... Yeah, those are the
there you go.
albums.
Yeah. Are these the albums or this?
No, that's one album. Look to the right.
album.
There's a list.
Oh, I
Those
see. Over here. Okay. I just want to play this at some of the break. So, for everyone to listen to, that's interesting though. Does that freak
which
you
part?
out? Whenever you're sitting there listening to the the old albums and someone's like, "Fuck Little Bobby," and you're like, "That sounds like Chris."
Well, there was a show where we did some Beach Boys covers. This was at Launchpad. It wasn't a Halloween show. Somebody just invited us to do like some cover show, and there was me and a couple guys and my wife, girlfriend at the time, all in like Hawaiian shirts and
I remember that.
shorts and like the looked like you're on the beach shorts, like you're a dad on the beach. Those types of shorts. And Amanda's wearing like some short shorts, and during the recording, we're doing like California Girls, and there's this person's like, "Oh God, this is terrible."
Aww.
And then, it gets better. And then another guy's like, "Wow, I hate the Beach Boys." And then somebody, it sounds like maybe the first guy goes, "But Lisa's girlfriend's hot." And I laughed then, and then like many years later, which was like 8 or 9 years later, I listened to it a month or two ago, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's hilarious." I wonder who that is.
Kathy Schroeder said that was at Low Spirits.
That was a Halloween Beach Boys show. Which
and she said that was her talking. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kiddning. It wasn't
we did this at Low Spirits. No. We did the song Kokomo during our Beach Boys set.
Oh, you like that song?
Only if you have to do it, which we did.
Like I'm a Beach Boys fan, and I think that's the shit.
It was our fourth and final song. It was the crowd pleaser, and I go out in the crowd with the microphone, and I'm like, "Bermuda, Bahama, this is Ryan's mama," and I'm like giving her a big hug, and
she like
that's on the recording.
She like flipped you off right to your face. I'm just kidding.
That's one of my favorite.
I'm painting Kathy Schroeder as like as a mean person, and she's not. She's absolutely lovely.
You know, Kathy, nobody said this sucks at the Low Spirit show. It was months later.
Where was it at?
It was at Launchpad. And it wasn't a full band show. It was just like an acoustic show. So It wasn't the.
You were doing
we did
Beach Boys
we did
acoustic?
We did it twice. Yeah, the first time was a
God, I
Halloween
hate
show,
the
and
Beach
we had like 8 people on stage, full drums, keyboard, all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
The Launchpad was just like a stripped down acoustic show, and that's why it's kind of quiet, and you can hear the person say, "This is terrible."
So, what's your favorite place to play now?
Oh, easily Launchpad. And
Yeah.
if Sister would have us, it'd be Sister. And when we're playing at Echoes, I like Echoes. I love Echoes.
Do you really?
actually,
Okay. It didn't trip you out that it used to be Bert's and
No. In
it's,
fact,
it's different. It's all
like in
different.
March, we went in there. I went in there. I don't know. It was February. I gave the guy Jake a CD, and it's like, hey, you looking for local bands? He like put it on. He listened to it for like 5 minutes. He's like, when do you guys want to play?
Oh, nice.
You know, and there was like no bullshit. And I've heard people complaining about that place. You know, well, they don't want us to play cover songs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right. Then
Yeah.
don't do that.
I mean, you know, I remember when it was Bert's and people were like, they don't charge a cover. And it's like,
But at Launchpad, they do charge a cover. It's like
Right.
always something.
there's always some bitching. There's always a bit. Sister Bar has a wall. Yeah.
They don't have a wall yet. Those people that would not shut up, so they put
Yeah.
a wall up.
Where are tacos?
Hey. Oh, hold on. Before we go any farther,
Oh,
I have a news bulletin.
tacos are always a
That
sensitive
people need to
subject.
do this right now. If you're listening live right now, go on Red Door's story. And there's a thing to vote. And it's my picture. And it says tater tots, yes, or tater tots, I have no opinion. Please vote yes. So Sister Bar no longer has tater tots. So I'm trying to get Red Door to bring in tater tots. And they're like no. And I'm like, people will eat tater tots.
It's
What
true.
does Red Door have? For just French fries?
They have a
Curds, right?
They have cheese curds, but they also have like a hash bomb.
This
It's
is
like
the place that used to be Blackbird. Correct?
yes, correct. And I want them to. So we're trying to do a couple things there. I want them to do 2 things. I want them to bring in tater tots. You know, do like red chili covered tater tots and green chili. You know, whatever. Do tater tots. Sister Bar quit doing it, which was idiotic and stupid because people love fucking
Yeah,
tater tots.
they're tater tots. Why would you? take those
The
away?
other thing I want them to do is on Sundays have a special Sunday, or have every Sunday be dedicated to the downtown people. They could call
Us?
it, yeah.
They're just gonna have their own show dedicated
Well,
to
no,
us.
no. But like if you,
I love it.
if we
No,
want
this
to,
is
I
a
want to
good
call
idea.
it 102 Sundays. 'Cause
I'm backing this 100%.
102 Sundays because we're in 87102, and you'll get 10.2% off if you live in the 87102. And it will turn Red Door into like the downtown place to hang out on Saturdays or Sundays. And so I'm trying to get both those things done. So yeah, go in the story. And they said if I get 100 people to vote yes on that story, then they'll do
Wow.
tater tots.
Wow.
For how long?
That's
don't know.
interesting because I associate
I like
my
that question.
time at the Blackbird.
How long?
I worked there in the kitchen and
Yeah.
I played there a lot.
Oh, that's
and,
right.
I associate it with fried foods.
Fried
Because
foods.
We had. I would make it was on the menu.
Oh, it's
fried.
same. It's same.
Pickles.
Yeah, they have fried cheese curds. I mean, it's fried. Yeah. But if they're gonna have something fried, why not tater tots?
Yeah, we
A
did.
hash bomb?
Blackbird did not even have tater tots.
Would you rather have a hash bomb or tater tots?
I don't know what a hash bomb is.
It's like a big blob of hash browns.
That is, the way you describe it does not sound good.
Aurelis says, "Be right back. Gotta go vote. Thank you."
That's my beautiful wife,
It is.
who's the singer in the band I'm in. So,
Yeah.
right, you see?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Oh.
common themes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are
I don't know what
trying
Craig
to
said.
out-hot
I
wife
can't
each
understand
other.
his accent.
Where's the interpreter?
Yeah. Craig's all shot.
Oh, you're doing it when I'm here as well. Okay.
He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight me today.
All right. All right. I see how this goes now.
And it's funny because like Craig has the cleanest English accent.
Do I?
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean,
Because you think of the English, they talk like this, and they're very
music.
pristine with their voices when they talk. I don't sound like that.
I don't know which English people like.
I only like the English for their music.
Yeah.
Like a lot,
He's
And
sitting
then-
right next to me, and he said that.
but not the people or the food.
I'm English.
You know, but the music is the best.
He's from Birmingham.
People are
Birmingham.
Yes.
Did you know that ELO is from Birmingham?
You see, Aurelis, did you see this? He just Birmingham me. Do you know Black Sabbath's from Birmingham?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I have to ask Craig questions.
And I just saw Duran Duran, and then I realized
They're from Birmingham.
Birmingham.
That's
but
right.
but apparently you don't buy a car there.
Oh,
Whoa.
jeez.
I found this out.
Whoa.
Because I watch a lot of YouTubers, and there's a lot of English like car ones, and they're all, we went to the one place in England you don't buy a car, and then I click on it, and it's Birmingham. So then I messaged Craig, and I'm like, why don't you buy a car in Birmingham? And what was the reason why?
I don't know. Like Birmingham's
Go to-
shithole.
Go to a different town.
I think it'd be like going to like the war zone and buy a car. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Birmingham. You don't want to go.
Probably
there.
not their car, but we can get it for cheap.
Listen.
Essex is too far away. I don't even know what that means.
I'm on the story. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Oh,
helping you
cool.
out
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
There.
Yeah.
There's a vote. In
Has there been any negativity since your comeback?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Yeah. On 10 drink minimum like
Oh,
2
shut-
weeks ago.
shit.
when you said I did something.
Because you did.
What did you say? Dirty? And I believe he used the word nasty, and I just turned it on.
It wasn't him.
No, that's
Or
Billy.
was it Billy?
It was
Did
Billy.
Why
use
does
the word
everyone
nasty?
keep saying I did not say nasty.
So-
that is Billy.
so Billy-
Because you said the word nasty maybe later in the episode, and I thought maybe it was
Oh, okay.
a smiley-ism.
Oh,
No,
we didn't
no,
say
that-
anything
that
negative
is-
about
that
you.
is totally Billy. I do not. That's him.
It was only once you saw me in chat, you're like, "Whoa, Bob's
Oh.
okay, Bobby's here." So I want to ask Bobby.
Wow.
Hey, before you go, Bobby, I want to ask you. So I heard you did something dirty the other day at the show, the Launchpad. You called out.
Yep. No, that was me.
The Shins, right? That was
Yes,
you.
I did.
And
As
was
soon
like,
as I walked, okay, because you were on stage. Hold on.
Finishing?
First of all, let me get to this
when
first.
you walked in.
Let me get to this first. So Aurelis, Craig's wife, says if they do buy a car, it's just so they can leave.
Wow.
Wow. It's that bad, huh?
Well, there's a story about Birmingham. When in 2012, I was single,
Uh-huh.
and I went back to England the last time I went back, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna find an English girl," you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
They have cute
was-
accents.
I told Aurelis this when I got back. I was like, the only good-looking one I saw was an Asian girl.
Oh,
And she wasn't like your typical, stereotypical Brit.
sure.
And so I was very disappointed when I came back home because I realized just what I wasn't missing in England at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I married Aurelis.
Yeah.
There you
Is
go.
she a typical English girl?
She's not. No, she's. Love you, babe.
There you go.
No, so, okay. So you guys were playing, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I walk in the door,
Like the,
someone comes up to me and they're like,
This is what
do you know what little Bobby-
concerns me because I'm like,
do
it
you know
came
what
up
little Bobby did?
immediately.
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
hey, did you know?
Yeah.
I was like, it
And,
wasn't a casual conversation. No,
And
it came up
I think you
immediately.
know who it was.
I don't exactly.
It was a person from the band.
Well, they're not in the
Yeah.
band
Oh,
anymore.
it was Marty himself.
I'm not saying.
He's in the band, the Shins.
You do know he's going to go back to
Oh
the
my
band and like
gosh.
point fingers at them and say,
No, but
"Well,
now I actually feel terrible because I
Yeah.
also followed it with. So this is what happened. I'm doing this song and it's about the Albuquerque music scene. It's
Sure.
our theme song, Stuffed Animal Band.
Yeah.
I mentioned several bands in the song. One of them I'm kind of poking fun at it, and I said that. So before we say the song, I'm like, "Hey, does anybody here ever remember a band called Glitter Dick?"
Oh.
And quite a few people applauded, and
Yeah.
more than I might think would applaud. And I was like, "Well, good for them." You
Oh,
know,
okay,
'cause
so
I'm
he walked up-
because I'm a little bitch. So I don't know if he's caught the context. This was
No, he did not. He
Good.
walked up just when you did that one part.
Oh no!
Just as you did that.
Okay, well,
and I
that's
think
how life goes.
there's like pre stuff too that like
Well,
that like I think whenever you were with Unit 7 Drain.
oh, that hopefully has nothing to do with me.
I'm not sure,
Unless
but-
I mouthed off about the Shins 15 years ago. I don't think I did.
I don't know.
I thought that was just like what you ran. That's what
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
What, mouth
Back
off
in-
about things?
No,
Yeah.
no. Just back in the day. No, that was just like the topic of
Yeah.
conversation back in the day. Was like,
And-
and the shit.
And the Shins,
And
right,
he,
right.
And he blew it, and he kind of was like, whatever, you know, like
Aw,
he was fine
man.
with it. But like, and I think you apologized to him.
I did. I sent him a message on
Yeah.
Facebook after I watched your message.
And he,
after I watched
he
your-
told me, and I was like, yeah, I said something on the podcast, and I apologized for him because I was like, yeah,
Right, but this is the whole point was before we played the song, I was like, hey, so this is about, so anyways, there was this band Glitter Dick, and the people applauded, and I'm like,
Lord.
good for them. I was like, anyways, I watched them play one time for about 5 minutes, and I turned to my guitar player. I think they're ripping us off because we had a kind of a. And I was like, I'm going to start a beef with them.
Oh gosh!
And
wait! They didn't start a beef with you?
No, exactly.
Because that's Glitter Dick's deal. Yeah.
I just one day at practice, I was like, there needs to be like a beef, like a diss track or a feud song or something. I was like, how about Glitter Dick? They would like it.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! Right? They were like the pro wrestling band. Not that they liked pro wrestling, but they did like that kind of shit.
And they got pretty well known. I'd say local famous or famous or whatever.
I saw that Judge Joe Brown.
And the guy wore asymmetrical eye makeup.
Yeah.
They had pillows all around the stage, and they were doing pillow fights after we were doing stuffed animal fights for like 5 years.
I think I think they were starting the beef.
Maybe, and then I was responding.
So
anyways, I just decided to make fun of them basically because they named themselves Glitter Dick. So anyways, I tell that story. I'm like, so this song we were gonna start a fight with the ground beneath, but they weren't interested. So instead, we just started a beef and I started a feud. So then we played the song, and at the end of the song, after I mentioned several local bands, mostly positively in the song, except for Glitter Dick, because they're like the butt of the joke.
Right.
Then towards the end of the song, as it's fading out, I'm like, all right. So anyways, let's hear for the Shins. And people applauded. Then I was like, whatever. But we love Marty.
He did say that.
I know.
He said you did say
so
that.
I hope that he knows that was the point. And the whole reason I had a beef with the Shins back in the day was because I was jealous, just like I was jealous of Glitter Dick.
Sure.
And
I was jealous of Glitter Dick?
I know. I was just jealous that they got on. They were on TV. They were on this. They were in the newspaper. And I
do like that band. But when I first moved here, have you ever heard of them?
Never.
So when I first moved here, 17 years ago, they were like literally a pro wrestlers without wrestling. They were like we're gonna play at Launchpad next Saturday, and on stage we're burning a Bible, and fucking they put up and they went up
flyers.
They went and put flyers, not promoting that. They went and put up flyers as if they were a group saying, hey, did you see what this band is doing? And so then it made the fucking news.
Pretty cool. Pretty genius.
And and then two of the members went on Judge Joe Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And they I've seen it several times. I don't know if you can find it anymore. But they were one guy was like, yeah, we lived together, and he put all my sex toys in the dishwasher and ruined them. So I'm suing him for the amount.
I got to look up Judge Joe Brown.
You can't find it online.
Oh.
I think what's his name that used to be in Russian Girlfriends?
Colin.
Colin has it. If it's
amazing.
It's amazing.
So
and then when they came back,
what now?
Yeah, when they came back and did a show at Sister Bar, they put up this poster, and it was really well drawn. It was like a comic book cover, and it had a leather daddy butt fucking a redneck dude in the ass.
That's right.
It was totally nuts. And they put them up all over UNM.
All over
and
town.
Fucking made the news again.
On the street. All the street polls.
And then you go and watch them, and you're like, I don't even know if this band is good anymore. I can't even remember. And then they were fun. And Kendall goes right up on stage, and he lights a joint and starts handing it around to everybody in the crowd. This is when it was still illegal. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I didn't know any of that.
Oh yeah. So they were just fun to watch from a distance. It's Jesus Christ, what the fuck are these people? And I caught it. I got it right away. And so many people were just I can't even believe this. I can't. And I'm like, they're fucking working, you dumb motherfuckers. You're all marks. And someone's like, did you hear they're getting protested? I was like, yeah, because they put up the posters.
They're protesting themselves.
Stupid motherfucker. Yeah, so that's cool. I didn't. I
also mentioned the band Monster Paws in this song.
Oh gosh,
and it's not it's like a big diss.
Dude,
it's
Nate's gonna come after you.
I was angry because you thought that I was in Monster Paws. Nothing against those guys, but I'd rather be in the Porter Draw. That's the lyric.
Oh my gosh!
And it's not a. And then
the ghost of Russell's gonna come back.
Why Monster Paws? Because one day I would look and they had 1,000, which seemed like a lot of views on their video right away, and I was like, man, this was 2010 or 11 or something.
To that in the car on the
Champagne bike ride, right? That's the one I was basically a little jealous of because I was like, look, they made a video. Look, it's got all these views, and
then
everybody was sharing it.
And then what's his name went on to like
die.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
QAnon.
And
Jesus Christ! Wow.
Sorry, but I mentioned that because this was at Brett's Maverick's funeral, where I said the Shins comment.
Oh, that's right.
And before the song, I was like, "This song is for Kenta from Glitterdick. This song is for Noah from Leeches of Lore, because I mentioned Leeches of Lore in the song. This song is for Jesse, our band member that passed away as we were writing this record. And the one I didn't mention, I was like, I should have said, this is for Isaac from Monchpaws. Like, so many people have just died for almost every one of these bands except for the Red Light Cameras I also mentioned. None of them have died. Let's wrap them in bubble wrap.
I believe they're vampires
because they're an Albuquerque treasure.
And I mean, in the original band, there's only 2 left. So I mean,
but I believe, as far as I know, even ex-members like nobody.
No. Joey's fine.
Yeah, Joey's doing great.
Chris Walsh is. I don't know where he is.
You're wearing his T-shirt right now.
He's somewhere. I'm hoping, like, I'm trying to talk him, and I know I'm not trying to talk him into it. I'm trying to like push him and egg him on to do the sequel to that documentary that he did. First of all,
where's the part 2?
We need to have more showings of that documentary because it's amazing. Like not only because I'm in it, but it's actually like I went to go watch it because I'm in it, and I wanted to, not because I was like I need to see myself. I was more worried. I said because I don't remember the interviews, and I was like, oh fuck, did I say fucked up shit? And how often are you going to go to the Guild and see yourself on screen? But like I watched this movie and I was like, dude, this is fucking really good. Often. And like this whole movie, like it shows a lot of like, it's all about like the DIY scene a lot, like La Chancla and Minnow or whatever it is now. But it really goes into the history of the Albuquerque music scene pretty much all the way up till like 1990. And it has a whole bunch on Gordy, It goes into how like in the 70s and the early 80s, you couldn't play. If you were a band that played your own music, you couldn't play anywhere.
Because everyone wanted covers.
They wanted covers. And that guy, Joe Buffalino, who was like the agent of every band, he was the one that booked all the clubs. And so you had to play top 40 hits or he wouldn't book you. So Gordy and his buddies like started a band, Jerry's Kids. And they were playing shows like they were kind of the ones who started these like DIY spaces that like when I moved here, it was a weird thing for me. But then like I've been here so long, DIY spaces are like fucking like when someone brings them up and they're like, what the hell? I'm like, oh yeah, there's like 8 of them. They started it. And it goes through all this history of that. So I want him to do like a part 2 where it goes into the 90s and in the early 2000s, which would be probably you guys, the Shins, Crash Kills 4, Monster Paws, probably, right?
About Crash Kills 4,
right?
October
John
People.
Washburn
October People.
Not happy.
That's right. What's that?
John Washburn is not happy. Crash Kills 4.
Yeah. Pilot to Bombardier, right? All those bands, all those bands that I don't see. And here's the thing: I wasn't here. I haven't heard most of those bands, but I know they existed.
When I first moved here, the Shins were just about to be like get a McDonald's commercial. They were all over the weekly paper about money and fame. And I was like, what the fuck?
And they're all we're not even from Albuquerque. We're all from Portland.
Well, there you go. So that was the first thing that bothered me, and then I was also jealous.
I'm like, no, they aren't. They're from here.
And then can we get more to the point? Is that the dude like let a bunch of people go from the band?
Sure.
And I was like, oh, but Marty, I like Marty. So that's what I actually meant on stage. I was like, so that's like totally backfired if he
that's why
took offense because I didn't exactly. I didn't like that he. Yeah. Well, what's wrong? Marty was the best one. It was like a Simpsons moment.
That's not his name.
My opinion of the Shins. So I've met Mercer multiple times.
He's really nice.
I've met Jesse. I've met Marty. I've never had an issue with any of them, but like people do. I wasn't there, so
I would. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wasn't either.
Kathy Schroeder says I knew Joe then. I think she means Joe Anderson. I went with him to try to get bands into Bobby Foster's bar. Oh, maybe she means like back in the 80s. Oh, interesting.
Joe Anderson of the Launchpad.
I don't know. I wonder.
Who's Bobby Foster?
I think this is all in the 80s, I think.
There's a road named after Bobby Foster.
That's right, yeah. Interesting.
But I don't think Joe Anderson's old enough to have been doing that in the 80s.
No, it may be a different Joe.
Well, He'll have a time machine at some point.
Oh, Joe Buffalino. She's talking about
Buffalino.
Zach Lance says Bobby Foster is a road man.
Okay.
Oh, she says Buffalino. Yeah. So Buffalino, like, there was this weird. There was like an old KOB news short that someone found and posted on Facebook, and it was like all about, like, it was from the 80s, and it was like, they're like, if you want to play music and you don't play top 40, you're not going to play in any of the bars. Why? Because of this man, Joe Buffalino. And it's like one of those, fucking things.
That is so
she
weird.
says in the 70s. Whoa. Dang.
That is so weird because one of my good friends and bandmates is Joe Buffalo.
Yeah.
And there's a Joe Buffalino in the past. That is so weird.
So we're at that point. Let's take a break. Where are you guys playing?
Thursday at the Launchpad. Duke City Riots vinyl release party.
All right.
With Ghost Costume.
Duke City Riots have been around for a while, right?
Ghost Costume, who I'm not familiar with,
Don't know,
opens
man.
the show. And then Duke City Riots are playing second. Youngsville. And then Shoulder Voices.
Youngsville. What do they play?
Stuff like this. Songs about drinking.
You know what's funny is he wrote that song. So it was during the pandemic. No, it was when he first moved to Austin. He was like, Carlos is all about, like, give me an idea and I'll make a song about it. And I was like, make a theme song for my show. And he did that.
Nice.
And now he says he couldn't even replicate it if he wanted to.
Because?
I don't know. He said he didn't even know how he did it. I was like, that's kind of weird, right?
Which aspect that is.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. So what else you got going on? How do people go find you guys?
Facebook, Instagram, Shoulder Voices, all of it, or
Bandcamp.
Yeah, we're on Bandcamp. I always forget.
Are you gonna stick around for the second hour?
Sure.
Cool. And Craig, what you got?
What have I got? I got a vacation coming up.
Nice.
Going to the caverns.
What?
Yeah.
How
going
dare
down
you?
to Carlsbad, go to the
I
caverns.
don't know if they let the English down there.
They do.
Oh, all right.
Because I'm American. See?
Yeah, Chris.
And then something's coming up quite a ways away on my birthday in
shit.
September.
Hold on. Kathy Schroeder says the boxer Bobby Foster, light heavyweight champ, fought Muhammad Ali. No shit. I didn't know he was from here.
But what about the DJ Bobby Box?
I don't know.
Now these words are all getting confused.
Sorry, what else?
No. There'll be an exciting show coming up in September. It's going to happen on my birthday, but it's exciting for other reasons outside of my birthday.
Cool.
So that'll come soon.
All right.
I think I heard about that show.
Smiley, you got anything?
No.
I'll talk about this in the next hour, but last night I did the AAA Cabaret, Almost AAA Cabaret. Just a fucking blast of a time. And if you haven't gone, you're absolutely missing out. But Friday night at the El Rey Theater, Duke City Championship Wrestling, I will be on commentary. If you go watch the last 2 episodes of Duke City Championship Wrestling, I am the #1 commentator because I had to fill in for the main guy who had an emergency.
Oh, no.
A family thing. And so I will be on the second chair Friday night. And Duke City Championship Wrestling, come by and say hello. And then Saturday,
yes,
during the day,
I do have something to talk about. Yes,
Smiley
Saturday.
and I will be at the
20th.
Southwest Comic Book Convention.
Comic Artist Convention.
Comic Artist Convention at the Shriners Hall.
At the Shriners Hall.
At 11 a.m. we are going to go live, and we are going to broadcast live from the Shriners Hall. Smiley's like, he's like, you're the one who knows how to do these. I'm like, this is not the same kind of thing. I don't know. I know Andy Kuhn is going to be there.
Andy Kuhn?
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
I know Andy well.
Do you really?
Yes.
Oh, well. Yeah.
He came to my citizenship party with a specially designed Make America Craig Again.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
Holy shit.
He's good friends of mine in Norellis.
What?
Ever since he was in the Pretty Goods. That's when I met him.
And he's like the dude. He used to draw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Still does, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, well,
So Andy
he's gonna
Kuhn is
be
going
there.
to be. Yeah.
Andy Kuhn will be there.
Yeah. So for sure. So come out and say hello at the, what's it called again?
Really?
Southwest.
Southwest Comic Book Artist Convention.
There you go. This is more of like one for like comic book artists. This isn't like a Comic-Con where they're going to have like, did you see who's we'll get in this in the second hour. They just made some new announcements. I mean, there's some really controversial announcements for the Comic-Con that's coming up in January, but there's some that they just recently announced that are kind of interesting. A little Saved by the Bell action.
Oh,
Whoa.
really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep. So
You piqued my
blossom.
interest.
yeah, we'll talk about that next hour. We're gonna take a break. Stick around, and with that, we are 10 drink minimum.
I had one foot in, but kept one foot out. Could not decide what to do about your love. I was so afraid of being paralyzed. I held on to a lifetime of fear. But I don't recall my life at all before we met. You're such a doll, my dear. Now I've lost something I found. I can't sleep, I just toss around. I can't eat or drink, can't hardly think about anything except for your love. And if the bartender who's serving you starts to flirt with you, I hope to God that he is sincere. If he can make you laugh, if you can make him come, I hope you know that you're the one that made my year. I miss your voice, I miss your laugh. You've got a choice, you could still come back here. But don't let him come inside your mouth. But now you've lost someone you found. You can't sleep, so you sleep around. You drink too much, he's got a gentle touch. What will you do about his
And if you've got room on that board, a little more bass.
More bass. All I'm hearing is guitar and my mother saying, "You'll never amount to anything."
Back from a 4-year band, Little Bobby! Back to back.
We're recording this tonight, and it's in stereo. So wherever you're standing, hey man.
That's where you're gonna be on the record.
Okay, this next song is called Paralyzed. It features Miss Mary and I.
Baby, what happened to your dress?
I took it off and made a mess.
I did ask for your whole life story,
But I'm giving it to you for free.
and then you left me paralyzed. Can't forget your paradise. Then you left me on the phone.
I kept saying no, no, no.
Sounds like you practiced all night.
But you never played this song right.
That's 'cause you left the band.
You said if I were you, I'd write a song or two about how I'm leaving you.
Paralyzed, can't forget your paradise.
Wanted out,
I understand,
you let me down.
I understand.
Say you'll never understand.
I was your friend.
So I'll
Tell
tell
me
you
once
once
again
again
why
why I'm leaving you.
paralyzed. I realized I had paradise. When I first heard you sing "Be My Baby," I was not listening, my baby. We stayed up all night till the morning. All we did was fight till the morning. Every time I cried, what was the issue? I wish I knew why. Give me a tissue. Every time I could, my baby, be my baby. Now I'm frozen as you walk away. I can't move or think of what to say.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
For sound. There's a little bit of feedback, huh?
I'm hearing.
Okay, well, less of that.
Yeah.
Who dares me to drink a bunch of vinegar?
No, don't do it.
So, I forgot to hit the recorder, so we're gonna have to play those first two songs again.
Sorry. Hey everybody, it's Shoulder Voices.
Secondly, if I could get a little more of my hat and the monitor and vocals. Thank you. This next song is about babies. The first song was about sex. Then comes babies. Then comes you paying alimony the rest of your life, but I ain't fucking around. They're heartbreakers.
I'm ready. Are you?
3.5.
Ah, we weren't. We aborted that song.
My baby's so sweet. Yeah, she always says please. She lives on her knees. She doesn't mean to tease. But baby wonders why my lover's always crying. She just realized we're all paralyzed, and she wanted me to know when baby falls down, let's burn her to the ground, set her on fire, set her on a wire. The Catholics confess she's not like all the rest. I made a white mess on baby's black dress, and baby says yes. And baby says yes. And takes off her dress. When baby makes love, she likes to do it rough. She thinks it makes her tough. She never gets enough. But then she says no. It's time for you to go. 'Cause you'll be coming soon.
bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks.
Oh, man. Here we go. We're live. It is the Billy Slash Wavy Hour.
Welcome back.
I'm your host, Chris Burnett. This show is sponsored by a little drink they call the Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Have you never had it? How good is it, Smiley?
Well, it is fantastic.
It's one of my favorite. Did you try one?
I have not had the hard alcoholic Topocino, but I have recently gotten into Topo Chico.
Yeah, you said Topo Chico. I did. Craig is not.
That's how recently I've gotten into it. I had some at my party.
Yeah.
I witnessed the joys of the Topo.
I have Topo Chico Converse now.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
I'll show them to you after the show.
Smiley says it's like a party in your mouth.
Everybody's like, wow.
Right.
Everybody about everything.
Everybody's like, did you get those from the company? I should just lie and be like, yeah. And I was like, no. I was sitting at home, and a friend of mine was at Cottonwood Mall, and he took a picture of them. He's like, they have these at Zoomies. And I fucking waited till the next day and hauled ass over there and got the last pair.
Nice. Good for you.
And then someone's like, you wear them? And I'm like, I hate this whole culture of buying shoes and you just display them.
Yeah.
What the fuck shit is that?
I didn't know
people line up for shoes now.
Yeah.
And back then they lined up for albums.
Dude, and the other thing that sucks is they do this.
Can't listen to my shoes. Come on, man.
They do this limited release of shoes, and there'd be the coolest shit ever, but you're not going to get them because you don't go wait in line outside of a fucking Supreme in winter.
Yep.
I don't know, but big fan of those. So last night I did the Almost AAA Cabaret at the Box Theater. If you have not gone, this is one of the most fun. I like doing that more than I like doing this.
Ouch.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, Smiley.
I'm sorry. It's fun, man. It's a blast. So we sell out. Like last night's show was sold out. The show before that was sold out. The show before that was sold out. Sells out. Like it's crazy. And
it's very well reviewed. Like everyone that I've talked to that's gone to it is just like you have to go. Yeah, like, you have to go.
I got
amazing.
recognized.
You will not see something else like this.
Nope. And
you have to go. So while it's happening.
I was in Echoes the other night, and some dude comes up and he's all, "Hey man, I went to that cabaret show." He's all, "Great job judging all the people," because it's kind of like a America's Got Talent kind of thing, where we're on display as the judges, right? The act, does whatever, like sing or comedy or whatever, and then they sit them down and talk to them about, they're like, "So tell us a little bit about yourself," and then they go to Sarah and Carissa and they say nice things about them, and then I trash them, kinda. I don't really trash them, but per se.
You're the fun judge.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, they're gonna shower us with praise, and Chris is gonna do something else.
Yeah, and I want to say something, and I want to say this because I was shocked. A magician won last night.
What? Really? How good was he?
Fucking very good. I have to tell you what he did. This was because I was like, I met him backstage, and I walked. So the last one. We judged them A, B, C, D, E, or F, right? That's why they call it the AAA, because there's 3 judges. If they get 3 A's, they got the AAA. And the winner gets a special trucker hat that's like pink and white, and then it has like all this like sequins and stuff all over. Like Little Bobby would rock it pretty well. And then they get like also like $25. There's like, it's not really like a great like. I mean, the trucker hat's cool, but
the show is amazing.
But it's one of those things where it's kind of like you won it. So like the last one, I felt like we walk in and Sarah goes, "I'm not giving." It was the Pride one. She goes, "I'm not giving below an A tonight," and I was like, "Well, that's great." So that automatically puts me against the wall where I have to give not A's, and. This drag queen comes out. How many
booze did you get?
Huh?
How many booze did you get?
I didn't get any because we gave almost all great grades. This drag, because like the Pride one was just full of the most talented motherfuckers. So this drag queen comes out, sets up a music stand with music, has a clarinet, and I'm thinking like, oh, they're gonna like mime the clarinet. Fucking plays the clarinet for real, like they are in the Philharmonic. And I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. How am I gonna give that a bad fucking grade? You know, you're in drag, just fucking just kicking ass, playing classical clarinet. I'm like, okay. Then there was like 2 drag queens. One did a jump in the air, landed in the splits. You know, like, you know. So this one, I walk in before anything happens, and I tell everyone there, I'm not giving above a B tonight. Sorry, guys. I think we were too lax last month. La, la, la. I gave 2 A's last night out of the 8 people. I couldn't, you know. So when I gave the 2 A's, though, because I said I was giving, and I told the audience, I'm not giving above a B. I felt like it had a little more punch to it than when someone got an A. So the guy comes out, like he's in the back. He's like, I'm a magician / comedian. And I went, oh, cool. You know, I was like, cool. And I can't think of his name for the life of me. If you go on Alma's Instagram, you can see who won. He comes out, and he's like, I read minds, and I can do all these things. And the trick, so he did a couple of tricks. One of them was he was like, I'm going to say the number one, think of a number between 1 and 50, and it's got to be odd. And he's like, I'm going to get a lot of the people in the audience with this, which I was like, okay, of course you were. And he's like, I picked 43, and he goes, it's 37. So I was like, okay, this guy sucks, right away. But like 10 people in the audience raised their hand that they had thought 37, and I was like, well, that's a, odds thing. Like, there's so many people are gonna, As he said 1 through 50, so that limited it. And then he said odd. Okay, cool. So then he like picked someone from the audience. He's like, there was a girl in the front row, and she wasn't a plant because she was with one of the other performers, right? So he's like, okay, I'm going to hand you this little slip of paper. You pick a number between 1 and 100 and write it on the paper. And she goes, okay. And she does, and puts it in the little envelope, and she holds her hand out like this, and he puts his hand on the top of it. And he's like, let me see if I can get it. And he's like, okay. And he goes, is your number, 46? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, awesome, I got it. He goes, but even more so. He's like, when people come over to my house, he goes, I have a playlist for them. And I the way I have people pick songs is I have my playlist numbered. I have them pick a number. And he shows her his phone. He goes, scroll down to number 46. And she scrolls down to number 46, and he goes, who is it? And she goes, David Bowie. And he goes, oh, weird. And he unbuttons his shirt, and he has a fucking David Bowie shirt on. And I was like, what the fuck? That was pretty fucking amazing. So we gave him, I was like, I don't know how to fucking feel about that. I was like, that was pretty fucking amazing. So he got an A. And a fucking magician won. I was like, there's no way a fucking magician's winning this. And he took it as he's like, okay. I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm not giving it above a B. And he goes, oh, so I have to wow you then? I was like, yeah. And then at the end of it, I was like, all right, that was fucking pretty awesome.
Well, God damn it.
You're wow.
I guess here's your A.
Well, you don't see like a local musician kick ass. I mean, have you guys seen a local musician that you're like, wasn't hacky
magician.
and goober?
Magician. Not musician.
Magician.
I see local musicians kick ass all the time.
Yeah. But you guys
I
got
don't know about all the time.
You guys got to go. Well, I mean,
but yeah, frequently.
You could also book
last night
to do it.
I saw some local musicians kick ass last night.
Who'd you see?
The Talking Hours at Launchpad.
I've heard of them.
And I didn't know anybody in the whole place except for the 2 of them, and I was like, all right. And I went and watched them, and then I left. I got there. They were setting up. They played, and I left.
You walked up and you went, the Talking Hours, whatever.
No, but I'm going to do that next time.
God, I love Mo. He's such a fucking mensch, dude. He's a great dude. He's such he we did the show, they had the 25th anniversary.
Music Around, yeah.
Music Around. And he's so funny because I was like, I had him on the podcast, and I was like, so what's we were talking about doing the podcast there, and I was like, so what's the green room situation? And he's like, and Carrie's like, well, I guess you better have a green room. I was like, what about the craft services? and I could just feel
how's our crafties over
and
there?
I'm kidding, and like Mo the whole time is like, oh gosh, he's like, I gotta do, and I was like, no, like I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Chris keeps telling me about we have like a special bathroom.
We did.
Can we?
We did.
Really? Okay, you did.
Oh, I did.
Did you have a specific rider to do a podcast there? They had to get you a certain brand of bottled water.
No. We did have stipulations. I'm not gonna say we didn't, because like one of them is we had to be able to drink. Mm-hmm. We brought our own, but we had to be able to drink.
We're sponsored.
Yeah. So the owner comes over and Mo's like, hey, because like I didn't realize they were going to put us right in the middle of the store, right?
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know.
Right?
Because no one ever does.
Fucking 10 drink minimums here, right next
Everybody's
to the
like,
register.
can you guys come and do a show from here? And then they won't put us on the poster, and then we end up like on the fucking side of like behind a rack of clothing.
Yeah, you can see us on your way to the bathroom.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, and then people go like this. They walk up and they go, "What's this?" And you go, "It's a podcast." And they go,
"Oh, okay."
Are you guys
doing it now?
Are you guys giving away the guitar? No, that's not us. That's over there. Okay. But he put us front and center, and so the owner came over, and he's like, these guys need to drink during the show, which made us sound like alcoholics, by the way. And I was like, we don't need to. I just brought it because I thought we were going to be stuck behind a rack of clothes, and no one would ever see us, And the owner goes, well, they can, but they can't give any to any of the people coming in, or to any of the people working.
Just us.
And so we just kind of sat there like front and center, music around, just drinking, which was kind of weird.
Bro, yeah. Hey, welcome to Music Around.
It's like
we're doing
Glitter
a
Dick
podcast.
lighting that joint.
We can drink.
Like,
you can't.
We can smoke a joint in public because we're in Glitter Dick.
Right. No, he handed it around, man. That was nuts. I was like, motherfucking Kendall. Do you not?
Was that at Launchpad?
No, sister.
Sister? Wow.
Yeah. Did you not know Kendall?
The singer?
Yeah.
No.
I remember one time when I first met him. Also like you, very fashionable guy. We're at Anodyne, and like he's just kind of like out of it a little bit. And I'm hanging out with some of my friends, and he's with them, and he looks at me. He's like, "You got any pills?" And I was like, "Just any?" Like ibuprofen, fucking.
Yeah, a few.
I got one a day, multivitamins.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
Is this vitamin C okay?
That's funny.
I have a bunch of pills.
I've got some.
So the point of that whole story was one day a girl walked up to me after they had been playing for like 6 months, and she was like, "Aren't you in a?" You're in, and I thought she was going to say that Stuffed Animal band or a band, but she was like, you're in Glitter Dick. And I was like,
I probably thought, you know what?
No.
I probably thought
that's what actually got me upset.
Because I remember I saw you guys play. I saw you guys play before I knew you. I saw you guys play before you knew. So and then I saw them play.
White guy, makeup.
Yeah.
That's hard to tell.
White people. Dirty white people. The band that I saw before I even knew anybody in the scene, and then like it took me a long time to figure out who they were, was Grand Canyon.
Yeah, we played several times.
Sam Miller, and they had...
they used to play like all the time, too.
I saw those guys play at Burt's one time. And Craig, they had a hype man in the band.
Wow.
And
I forgot about that.
Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. And I remember I go to their show, and they were like musically one of the better bands in Albuquerque. Psychedelic, really high energy. So this guy, this hype man guy comes out, right? He's got like dreadlocks, no shirt on, super tan, right? And like a American, not a Speedo, but kind of like the trunks that the UFC fighters wear, but they were American flag. And that was the only clothing he had on except for like some cross trainer shoes, right? So he's playing the tambourine. He's up on stage, and he sticks the tambourine out like high up in the air, and he just starts kicking it with his foot. Like he high kicks it. And I'm just like, what in the fuck is happening? Come to find out years later, I met the guy. he was a black belt in judo, and he was like the alternate for Team USA in the Olympics.
Wow.
And his judo dojo was like one street over from the Rosemont House.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, really cool guy. And I ended up becoming really good friends with Poncho and Sam Miller, who were like pretty much the driving force behind that band.
Poncho was in Shoulder Voices for a while.
What, Poncho was in Shoulder Voices?
That did not end very well. We got into an argument, and that was one of my lower moments.
Really?
Yeah, he's on a record actually. He played with us for about 4 months, recorded a couple songs with us.
Yeah, which record is that?
He's on Oil and Glitter, our political album.
I remember that one. Yeah, you're political. I suppose so. I was distracted by the boobies.
Oh.
There you go. That's the one.
The boobies.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's my boobs and the girl who was our singer, her boobs.
Oh.
She was
on the cover?
She was the star, blue and white stars. I'm the white and blue. The red and white stripes.
Is it on this?
Yeah, it's the one right there, third from the top.
This one?
A little lower.
Yeah,
lower, that one.
Right there.
I see.
Poncho was on 2 of those songs.
Oh.
Okay, I thought so.
Interesting. Okay.
And then
I never knew. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he wasn't in the band. So me and that girl, we kind of asked him not to be in the band.
Really?
And then he got mad, and he went to he did an interview for some zine at the time, and said that we were very unprofessional.
Oh, wow.
And that we had treated him like a session player and didn't pay him because we got him to record a couple songs, and then he wasn't in the band. And,
really?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Sucked. She was dating him, and then I was dating her, and then she was like, "Can we get him out of the band?" And then I was like, "Yeah,
fuck him."
Yeah, and it was not good.
Yeah. Well,
then she's the one that I wrote an entire record about for several years. I got my come up and
it was a good album. I like that album.
That's a really good record.
I have that at my house.
But the next ones are much better because I was much more heartbroken.
Oh wow! Well, I'm glad that story came out. Poncho, can you come on out?
I don't know if Poncho is around in this town or the state anymore.
No, he moved to last I heard he moved to New York City. So I don't know.
Nice. He played trumpet on a record and keyboards.
Yeah. He and it's weird because I don't remember ever seeing Poncho not in a suit.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Really? He always had a suit on. Don't you remember?
That doesn't.
There's a video of us at Burt's, 30 minutes worth, an entire show, and he's wearing an American flag that we had a hole cut in, wearing it as a poncho.
Oh yeah, well no, on stage. I mean on stage, sure. Yeah. But when you just see him in public, he always had on a blazer.
I don't remember that.
Or something like. Man, maybe I'm not remembering that right.
Are we talking about the same person?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Poncho
white
exclamation,
dude.
Yeah.
White dude, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Blondish.
Yeah.
Big blonde white dude.
And I think Sam was in New York for a while.
I don't think I've seen him.
Sam Miller.
Was there a guy named James in that band? I think there was.
I don't know. God, I don't know.
So they became a Ginny Invert.
Invert. That's
they
right.
Changed their name after that.
And then their logo was like a plane flying upside down.
Oh, was it that famous stamp?
Yeah,
maybe?
that was the one. Yeah, the Ginny Invert.
Oh, maybe that was the name of the plane. The plane.
I think so. I don't know. Those days were hazy.
I saw some of those guys recently. It was just after the pandemic. I think it was James, and I was like, "Dude," he was like, "Bobby," and I was like, "I know you're. Were you in that band?" And we pieced it all together.
Yeah.
It was we played a lot together with.
Oh, dude.
Grand Canyons, a band called Canyonlands.
Canyonland, yeah.
And maybe James was in Canyonland, and then Grand Canyon became Ginny Invert. They're on a lot of the posters I have in my house. Those were good days.
Yeah, you do. You do have a room in your house that's kind of like a. I mean, much like this room here. I mean, people walk in here and they're kind of like, "Oh, whoa!"
There's a guy named Levi 11. He made a lot of our posters. I have them in chronological order. What
was his band?
Many. Romeo Goes to Hell. Yeah. Then Volume. Then Violenta.
Good name, Romeo Goes to Hell.
That was a good one. That was They were around quite a few years.
Make Chamber on Instagram.
What was the one he was in with?
Is that a new name?
I think that's his Instagram name.
Okay,
isn't it? Make Chamber.
DBE.
That sounds right.
You remember DBE?
No.
Disturbing Bar Experience?
I don't remember that one.
No, actually, they changed their name every single time.
And then he went into the Dead Electric, and now he's doing the Murder Bird several years.
Oh, Murder Bird.
Mr. Dr.
Murder Bird's kind of around still, aren't they?
They started up recently.
Yeah.
That's
right around when we started up.
He's with Stewart again, right?
believe so.
Let me see, because
we played several shows with them.
Because Levi made Make Chamber, Levi 11. That's his Instagram.
They did a Halloween show at Low Spirits, Murder Bird, I think it was the name, not Dead Electric, and they were doing Hall and Oates, but they all had the afros and the mustache, and they were oats and oats and oats and oats, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. see that's where. So we have Barney's going to come on.
I really love those guys. Like I whenever I have a chance to hang out with either Levi or Stuart,
right?
I always try to. Like I have one of his buttons on my shirt right now. One of my favorite buttons that he's ever done.
We still have buttons that he made us.
It says
10 drink minimum buttons.
It says I hate myself and I am incapable of love. That's all it says on it.
I have
one
of Levi's buttons on my hat, and it says "Big Gay Hat."
Nice.
Oh wow!
And it's because they at one of their shows when they were Romeo Goes to Hell finishing up, they're like, we're looking for a new band name. We made a bunch of buttons and a bunch of band names, and we're gonna have people on probably MySpace like vote for it.
Wow!
And these was one of the names that did not get used was Big Gay Hat, which is a pretty good band name.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's gonna look really good on my hat.
Oh wow!
Was that the same time he came out with like a Nolan for mayor? He had a bunch of random ones.
I remember that Nolan.
Fucking Nolan, dude. I remember Nolan. Nolan was one of the best drummers around back in the day.
Yeah.
Jeez, the good old days. These.
He played one song with us one time.
Who hasn't played in your band?
Exactly.
Me.
The Wikipedia timeline is going to be so complicated when I eventually...
And it's going to be
input
like
all the data.
Album, death.
6-year death.
Put on yet. You know what's weird to me? You live in the Heights. Like you live deep in the fucking Heights. That weirded me out.
That's an upgrade. He used to not even live in town.
That's true. It's true.
It's like, come to my party.
I don't go to Santa Fe, bro.
Santa Fe.
No thanks.
No,
I had one party. It was the spring after it was 2021. That spring after the pandemic was letting up a little bit, and like 30 people showed up, and most of them were from Albuquerque. That's how desperate people were to hang out during like spring of 21.
Seems fine.
An hour, yeah.
I'll totally drive to your house.
Risk certain death.
Right? No.
With a virus.
I almost went to that one too because I was like, yeah, you know what? That does sound like fun.
So on I think it was 1 or 2 podcasts ago,
I wasn't invited. But
you said I hung out with Bobby one time at a Martin Heinrich fundraiser. Do you remember saying that like a couple weeks ago? And you're like, that's the only time I've ever partied with Bobby because he said I had invited you to the show. This stuffed animal is autographed by Martin Heinrich, who's a U.S. senator at that show.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've always
that's awesome.
Why are you hiding the face of the bear?
Because I don't want his true identity to get out.
Oh, is it a real thing or is it a?
Well, he's got a wife and kids. This bear does.
That's fair enough.
So, anyways, Martin Heinrich autographed him.
So, other than the fucking crazy political shit that happens weekend,
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Oh my gosh, we had a lot of death this weekend, right?
What happened?
We had
Dr. Ruth.
Which that's where I'm going, right? So whenever I saw the news, I was like,
she was like 90,
96.
Whoa!
I was like, Dr. Ruth was still alive. I was like,
good sex keeps you alive,
right?
Yeah, man.
And I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, I thought Dr. Ruth was in her like fucking 80s and the fucking 80s. Right? I was like, dude, how old was she? I was 130.
She was like the Golden Girls. She was made up. She's older.
Yeah, I feel like that, right?
I like that.
Yes. Well, then Richard Simmons, right? Richard Simmons goes.
My hero.
His birthday was just like a day or two before that, and Bobby Box was talking about it on the radio.
Yeah.
And then the next day he's dead.
Did you see who passed away today?
Yeah.
Shannon Doherty.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
53 years old.
The cancer got her.
Well, and then earlier this week, Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
Not Shelley Duvall.
No.
Yeah, it was Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember in 2016 when everybody seemed to think that all the celebrities were dying?
It was awful. I hated that year.
It was a rough one.
It started with Lemmy on Boxing Day, and it ended with like Bowie.
It was the beginning of that year. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. But like when Dr. Ruth does the outfit, I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm sad." I was like, 96. That little bird had a good life.
I was happy that she even lived so long.
Dude, I want to know. Like, I want that book. I want to know when like Dr. Ruth was like fucking like how long she was in it, man.
In what? In the sex?
Yeah, fuck yeah, getting it. 96. Was she like up until like Friday? Who knows? I don't know. Because she,
Well, hopefully.
I just remember as a kid,
Up until her body told her not to.
I just remember, like, as a kid, turning on the TV, and this lady who looks like a grandma
is on the Arsenio Hall show.
Is saying the most pornography, like, saying, like, the most fucked up shit. I'm like, whoa.
And when this woman squirts the liquid, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm 13 years old.
Her nipples are dilated. You're like, oh.
Yeah, she did not hold back.
Fuck no. And it was like, well, but yeah.
Mom, what are areolas?
And Arsenio's like, yo, yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah. Well, it's about time you asked, son.
Yeah, the Shannon Doherty one kind of took me by surprise. I was kind of like, she had cancer. She was really struggling. I know that. I follow. It's really weird. I follow Kevin Smith on Instagram, and then I'm now friends with Jason London on Facebook. Do you know who that is?
You son of a bitch.
He's from Mallrats.
Yes.
He was the main character. And then what was the Dazed and Confused? Yeah. Main character, one of the main characters. Anyway, so I guess like they were in Mallrats together, and then she was the godmother for his kid, and I was like, oh man, that sucks. Mm-hmm. That sucks. I don't know. I was kind of like, eh. And I just remember in Mallrats when what's the guy's name that was in My Name Is Earl, the big fat guy? Ethan Suplee.
Have you seen him?
Yes, he's like jacked now. He's like really like ripped.
Damn.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You ever watch Mallrats?
I've seen most of their movies, not that one.
Did you ever watch My Name Is Earl?
If you saw him, you'd recognize his face.
Yeah, he was like a big. Did you ever watch
he was in
American History X?
This show sounds. Now we're getting scary.
Yeah,
I've only seen Star Trek and Simpsons.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, very true. But like, anyway, in the Mallrats, whenever they run into each other, he goes, Brenda? And she's all, what'd she say? She's all, fuck you.
Yeah.
And he's all, bitch. Yeah.
No, I've seen Clerks, but
Clerks?
not Mallrats.
Oh. I love Mallrats.
I gotta just say, though, no one needs to really talk about it, but there's one thing over the weekend that happened that we just skirted.
What?
Smileys.
The assassination attempt.
It says it right here. God bless America.
There was an assassination attempt.
Dale Earnhardt
Reagan?
Jr.
No.
Again?
Oh, the other actor?
Did they go for Reagan again?
I don't know.
Yeah, they shot up his tombstone.
It's the actor from Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You didn't know someone tried to shoot Trump?
Yeah, no, I was fucking watching that whole time.
Right.
And I was at work. It was hilarious. We're like laughing our asses off. We're all.
So on that note, if we could get back to Glitter Dick, I think it's time to put our feud aside and unite the Albuquerque music community. And with the never mind, they're not. The Shins are a local band, but for Marty and I think it's time for us to stop fussing and feuding and come together and be unified.
Come together.
And he should suspend his campaign.
Someone tried a couple of years ago. Someone tried to get the local bands to do a wrestling type thing where they
It was probably me.
No, I can't remember who it was, but they tried to do a wrestling type thing where we would do like promos about the other bands and be like, red light cameras, you think you got it, cut a promo for
you think you can bounce? You think you can bounce?
I approached Barney about that.
We can bounce.
Did you?
So I've approached Barney about that idea. Can I get I don't know, something
a joint
about doing that? The other one I thought about doing too is not this last year, but the year before. Someone started this, and I think it's actually happened 2 years in a row now. A local band portrayed another local band.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So someone did the red light cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about like, why not do a show? Because like back in the day, there used to be all these different like theme shows.
Yeah.
And like covers. They still do covers for lovers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, I don't know who used to book those, but like Gina.
My drummer's wife.
Yeah. So what I was trying to get Barney to do is like do a night where like you have two bands and they swap.
Oh.
And they play each other's music however they want.
Mm-hmm.
And Barney was like, "That's intriguing, but it would be very hard." Or and you could even do a thing where they do like you maybe do like 3 songs.
Yeah, you need maybe more than 2 bands.
Yeah. Well,
because each band would have to learn a lot if you only had 2 bands.
Yeah. But that's the other one I was trying to get Barney to do. And then, speaking of that, though, I
thought about doing the red light cameras like 8 years ago. And then somebody finally did it like this past year.
No, they did it the year before last. And then the guy asked Barney if he wanted to play in it. And Barney was like, no, that's the fucking point.
Yeah.
speaking of Night of the Living cover bands, the announcement show is in the calendar.
Whoa.
It is.
It's only July.
It is.
Not like I'm sitting around trying
Barney
to learn cover
hit me up
songs.
and he said, I need you to, can you section off this date? Is it taken? And I said, no. And he goes, let's do the announcement. So I'm not going to say what day it is yet.
It was taken. You just didn't put it on the calendar.
That's right. It probably was. It probably is that day. It's there. But Night of the Living cover band's announcement show, which was someone tried to steal it from us.
Whoa.
You want to talk about beef?
They always try to steal
It's those
from us.
people.
Really? Another
Yes.
podcast?
I wouldn't call
We
them
don't
that.
have to name names.
Oh, I'll name names.
But it's some.
So the person who runs the New Mexico Music Entertainment, whatever the fuck, is trying to take the announcement show for Night of the Living cover bands and put it on their show they do on the city from the city studio. I don't know what that thing's
Studio
called.
516.
Whatever. Yeah.
Don't look at it.
They were trying to steal that from us, and so I heard there was some beef from the New Mexico Entertainment Awards. Craig, is that true?
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there either. I bought tickets and decided not to go.
Wow. I just saw the fallout of a stolen award and a Sharpie or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Controversy.
That's a good.
We didn't. I don't know. I didn't feel like that was a representation of the arts in Albuquerque, and that's fine. That's my opinion. I don't care.
They were all like, "Hey, welcome to the crew, Chris." And by the way, James Smiley, whatever, you're only half of the show.
Yeah, sorry.
You don't get an award.
No, yeah.
No soup for you.
Nah.
No soup for me.
Best sidekick. I'm not a sidekick. I'm a co-host.
That's right. I'm a co-host.
Get
on
me
this
out of that
show.
category.
Cara Johnson, drummer for All Thick. I went with part of the band. We had fun even though we didn't win. Well, then good. I'm glad you did.
I'm sure it was a great show.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure
Did
it was
they
fun.
have a show?
I was
Nah,
watching
well,
it.
I saw all the drama unfolding on Facebook the week before, and it didn't look like it was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Did you see all that drama?
Mm-hmm.
But thank God people donated and saved them. But we still have tons of homeless and all that shit. But whatever, it's cool. Anyway, so I'm just causing.
But
drama.
whatever.
We don't need award shows. Stephanie Galloway. We don't need award shows. We make our own. Damn-lutely, right?
There we go. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Had a really good conversation with Stephanie Galloway at your party, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Really good fun time. Oh, I want to talk about this. So there was a guy, a fan of the show, and a couple months ago, I posted this picture of a guy standing on top of a car with a samurai sword, and then a wiener dog, and then like zombies around it.
Oh.
And the guy, I was like, man, this is awesome. Someone should do this to me. And this dude did it. He painted a picture of me and Brody. Of can I find it?
Our yappy friend over here.
My dog. He painted this picture of me and the dog.
No, it's badass actually.
And
he actually
there it
posted
is.
The
Yeah.
entire thing,
Yeah.
hit the drawing thing.
Yeah. Let me put it on the thing here. And it kind of blew me away, and it was kind of out of nowhere a little bit. Mike Howland, that's his name. And where's the share? Can't see it right away. Do you see share on there?
No, I see present.
That's the one.
It's that one there.
That's the one. Share screen. Don't give a fuck. There it is. So I'm gonna, and it's me, like with a samurai sword. You can see the white glasses, and then little Brody in the bottom corner, killing zombies. And I think it's fucking spectacular, right? So
that's a fair representation of
yeah,
Brody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Brody on a good day. That's exactly how she is when the mics go off. So the funny thing is like Thursday, I'm at Green Jeans and I'm up on the upper level and I'm drinking and I look down and there's like this person on their iPad like drawing a horse and I was like, oh wow, that's badass. So I go to cash out and I'm walking by them and the person's like, hey. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I'm Mike. I drew that picture of you and your dog. And I'm like, oh shit. Like that was amazing. And he's like, it's finally nice to meet you in the I was like, thank you for the picture. It's fucking badass. I love it. And if you like that picture, if you go on our website, 10drinkminimum.com, we are selling it on a T-shirt.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. That makes
And the money goes to that dude. So
hell yeah.
It's not, it's like $1 per shirt, but go buy a shirt. We've sold one already.
Nice.
And it wasn't me. I haven't bought one yet, but I will.
Yeah, I have to get one.
Because, I have to have a shirt with my face on it,
I came in here today with the very first 10 drink minimum shirt that you.
I know. I don't even have that shirt, I'm not even wearing one.
It has the smiley logo on the side.
It does. It does the smiley on it. I wish I had that shirt. I don't even know what happened. I think Billy took mine. I don't know.
That would seem so weird.
Can you believe
it has a name on your
Can you believe
shirt.
it's been 10 years? For me, it's been 18 years.
It's been 10 years for me.
And I've known Little Bobby for 10 years.
Wow. And I have shirts with my face on them.
Yeah.
I'm that person.
I've known Craig, a year now? 2 years?
Two. Yeah.
Gross. I'm just kidding.
It's been a rough 2 years.
Gross.
Especially when you text me in the middle of the night with anti-British shit.
Dude, all the time.
Whoa.
Constantly.
Wow, dude.
Constantly.
Fucking 1 a.m. What the fuck, Chris?
Answer this: Beatles versus Dave Clark 5. Which is it? Come on, we're dying to know.
Beatles.
He knows me that well.
Oh, really?
Wow, no, no.
Beatles.
No. I'll send him memes, and it'll be like I don't mind if you're English, just don't do it in front of me. Or like why do the English let their teach their kids that accent?
That's right.
What's the other one about the food? It was like,
I don't know. You've done a lot. Like, just go scroll through your messages to me.
Hold on.
He's about to. He's about to go through his messages
because it makes me laugh.
I've got him here sitting there going, "Oh, English, fuck him," and then I got him over here just like taunting. Jeez, I'm gonna show up with like
I sent him the one that's the British flag, and it said it was the 4th of July.
Very much affection.
It says Happy Treason Day, ungrateful colonials.
Every time he does that, I'm like, Chris, why are you doing this?
My favorite one is there's a dude from Philly wearing a red shirt, and it said the Brits blew a 13 colony lead. I was like, that's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, that's why like Arelis and I we do music together outside of Gilead, and we called ourselves Redcoat Rebels. She's from the South, and I'm English.
Like Texas, South.
There's Carolina.
There's one that says, "How is this a real British person?" It's like if there was an American actress named Cowgirl Gunberger, and the woman's name is Tuppence Middleton.
Chris, he's sitting right here.
He's going through them now. He's going through his gallery to see what extras he's got.
It's sickening how the British force their children to do that accent.
But can you tell us how to do an entire election in like 3 weeks?
Right.
Yeah.
Because that would be convenient.
Well, no, it's not just that. Like, it's when we elect a prime minister, it's an overnight change.
Right. You don't have to wait for the.
It's like you're out.
Lame duck for real.
Yeah,
that's cool.
When you're going to do it too. Like, we're having the election now.
Yeah, it's like we're going to have an election next week. Yeah,
that's how it works. Oh, I love that.
This is a hard times one.
Next week's an election.
He's still going.
Yeah, the Gallagher brothers reunite to argue in front of terminally ill Oasis fan.
Wow.
He's still going.
Those are so good though.
Chris.
Did you do Oasis for Halloween?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Did you not hear?
Was that the same night we played?
You don't know the controversy behind that? Oh man,
there was an argument.
Oh God, there was.
Yes. So
he wouldn't do the song you wanted to do. There was that.
And that was a big deal.
Uh-huh.
I got messages well into the morning about that. Uh-huh. So I was like, how can you be... We were doing Night of the Living Cover Band's announcement show, which apparently I have to watch every word I say or don't say.
Welcome to my world.
You didn't talk about our band, man. Why not? Because it was 130 fucking 2, and I don't even know who you are. But like... No, I was like, how... Barney and I were sitting here, and I was like, how could you do Oasis and not do Wonderwall? Like, that's impossible. And they both of him and the lead singer, like, he's in the chat, and then the lead singer hears about it, and the lead singer is the one who didn't want to do Wonderwall. And then
he got in the chat, and he kept going with it for months. Months. He kept going with it, and he still gives me shit about it.
I can at least deal with the Josue and like him, and I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, and I understand it. You know, it's these people that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That were like, first of all, you didn't say a word about us. Like, what? Like, who are you? You know? And then I had to tell somebody. They were like, you skipped over me, and like you've avoided me, and da da da. And I told them I had to finally tell them.
Is this sound like a private message or a face to face?
Oh, yeah, no, private message. And then finally I had to tell them, I'm like, look, I've seen you. And they were like, okay. And I'm like, I didn't like it. And they were like, well, which performance? And I told them, and they're like, well, I was sick that day, and my blah, 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 and da da da. And I'm like, okay, but like, that's the time I saw you. And I mean, if I wasn't the only one there. Sorry.
You're not sponsored by the bands.
Man, that's why I don't generally press people. Why haven't you mentioned my band? Because the answer might be, I have seen you and I don't like you.
I did, yeah. When I was texting you at 1 a.m.
Right. And I don't,
I saw your band last night, Craig.
Yeah.
That's like, hey baby, why haven't you returned my calls? It's like, because
I mean, let me ask you that. Let me ask both of you guys this: how often do you guys go out and see new bands?
Well, I go out to see bands I know, and then I might see a new band with
exactly, or you're playing and you've never heard of the band that's opening, and you might watch them.
There's basically a 0 chance I'm going to go out to see something I don't know, if I don't know anybody.
So there's a couple of people. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want them to get fucking outed, but they'll hit me up and they'll be like, "Hey, you should go check these people out," and then I will. And I'm not saying that I'm important or anything else, but like, I'll go watch people that's like, if you're good and you work hard and you sound good, I'll go see you. And then like, I'll go to shows every once in a while. Like I went to Echoes and they did an all female night, and most of them were pretty good. And and then I might go check some out again. But like for the most part, it's hard to get out and see fucking everything. It's too,
I think I actually did that with the Youngsville album.
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen, I think, any of the bands on that bill.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, Youngsville's been around for a while,
right?
It's funny because like I think when Bobby probably got out, they were like kind of still new on the scene. They were like the youngins, and now it's weird to see them be like kind of
middle-agedville.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Middle-aged.
In a good way though. I'm glad that like you guys are back. I'm glad Shoulder Voices is back. I'm glad that Youngsville is back. And it's weird to see, because like Red Light Cameras are still around, and Prism Bitch isn't like a band from back in the day, but they kind of are.
Yeah.
In a little bit of a way.
Oh, they started in like 13 or 14 or so.
No.
They represent our town, but
Prism Bitch not started on 2013.
But because they were called Prison Bitch.
No, I know. I was there. I was at their first show.
That was like 13 or 14 maybe.
No, because Chris Walsh was in Red Light Cameras for a long fucking time.
Do you remember when they had a bass player before Lauren?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her name was Rachel. She was a good friend of mine.
I still have one of their T-shirts, but there was still 5.
And then a couple years into it, I'm like, you changed your name? But you didn't change the word bitch. You changed the word prison.
Well, it was the connotation, right? Yeah,
and I was like, okay, that's just not the first most offensive word in the group, but I guess it's context.
I believe they added an exclamation point to it.
I think it was the two words together that made it bad.
Correct.
What I thought was funny about it is they were called Prison Bitch, and Chris Walsh would wear a a prison guard outfit, and then all the women would wear jumpsuits like they were prisoners.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is this is a little. I mean, it was very punk rock at the time, and someday I'll be like on the documentary. I'll be like, yeah, they used to come out as what people don't know is they were a different name. They were.
That's on the part 2 of the documentary.
Right. Yeah, but. Yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to say. But yeah, it's kind of cool that you guys are all back, and then, there's a lot of new bands on the scene now. So I mean,
which is good.
It's great. Like I would say the scene is very strong right now. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, it's hard to not say that when you have Night of Living cover bands last year, and there was 132 fucking bands, and that's 132 that Barney allowed on the lineup. So that means there was bands that applied, and he said no.
Yep.
So Jesus, man, that's nuts.
Or he said we can't.
That's a good scene.
Nah.
Or he said no.
Or he said no. Or maybe he said no thank you.
I know there was some no thank you in there. I know that like it's really interesting. Like I know there's like people who don't get it, and they're like, we're a cover band, we would love to come do that. And he like tells them, he's like, no, you have to be a band that doesn't do covers.
Cover band shows up with a bunch of originals for Night of Living cover bands.
That's nice. They're all.
I did see a band this last October. They were doing I don't know what heavy band they were doing. It was some younger band doing another younger band that I'm not familiar with. And after, like, I'm going to say 2 songs, they had the crowd really going. And then they were like, okay, we are going to do, like, one original. And I was like, what?
You don't do that.
I was already leaving at that point, but I was just out to check out the other bands. And I was like, okay, I'm done watching you guys. I'm going over to the bar and saying my goodbyes.
There was a band, like, every once in a while, you'll go to Night Living cover bands, and there's, like, a band that just fucking kills it. And oh god, BJ and the Pigeons is I think
Blue Jay
and the Pigeons. Yep. They did the B-52s. Yep. And I was like not a big B-52 guy. I was like I'm aware of them. Their songs are catchy and fine. Those motherfuckers took, like you guys did back in the day, and a lot of the guys did back in the day, took the theme and were like, hell yeah. They had like 3 wardrobe changes. For like 4 songs.
Props.
They had like 12 people on stage. They had someone dressed as a planet because they were like, oh, around the world. And they had like someone dressed as like a rocket and like
lobster.
When I say they had wardrobe changes, the dude was like full suit and then it like Velcro ripped off. And I was like, this is fucking. I went up to him afterwards and I was like, I just want to say that was.
They killed it.
Phenomenal, you know.
No, it gets better like every year. Like the
well, it doesn't. Like some people don't get it. They're like, hey, we're the Breeders, and then they just sing the Breeders like they normally sing, and you're like,
they don't make it a show.
No, that's close. But no, I'm saying like, but last year both of us were involved in part of like some.
Oh, that's right.
Performance, like the stage performances just get bigger.
Oh, that's
bigger.
right.
Like they're like literally.
Did you see my performance this year? Last year? Oh
no, I went like 5 nights, and that was not one of the ones.
Did you buy the $50 ticket? That's such a great deal.
I did.
It's like $50, and you get to go to every show.
I was playing 2 shows, and I looked how many friends were playing other shows. I'm like, that's worth it. I'll go out.
Smiley, what were you on? Which one were you on?
I
did
was Dave Payne.
Dave Payne, Salty. They did the Big Lebowski soundtrack.
Yeah, they did the Big Lebowski soundtrack, and they came up to me and they wanted me to play like one of the characters from the Big Lebowski, and I hadn't seen the movie. And,
what?
No, it's really great. I watched it already. So I played Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, and I had a blonde wig that I borrowed from him. And no one recognized me at all.
Nice. Every time you do dress up, he did fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula one day. He walks in, he's like, what's up? And I was like, and I did the thing where like people know me, but
you just peopled.
And I just go, oh, hey, what's up? And then he starts talking. I was like, oh, holy shit, dude. That's Jesus Christ. I did not recognize you. So I did, Youngsville did Tenacious D. And I don't know if you ever saw the original TV show on HBO, but Paul F. Tompkins they would always play this open mic. And Paul F. Tompkins in the open mic would always walk up and he'd be like, this next band asked me to read this. Prepare to have your asses blown out. You know, and then he would like go through this whole diatribe and then he'd be all Tenacious D. So I took like 3 of those and I went up on stage and I was like, this next band asked me to read this. If you're ovulating, please stand away from the stage because you will get pregnant. You know, like all that shit. And so many people were like, that was so good. And I was like, I just fucking amalgamated a bunch of things that Paul F. Tompkins did. But it was super fun. Like,
they're getting bigger every year. Like when they're like literally like hiring outside like actors and stuff. Oh no, what do you do on stage? We're gonna give you a tambourine, but you need to play this part.
Did you actually rehearse with them?
Yeah. I did. I rehearsed right before the show.
Did you kick the tambourine?
Were you on time?
Kick?
Yeah.
No, I mean to the rehearsal.
Oh, burn. Okay.
Sick burn.
All right.
I love how you're like clapping a beat though.
That was good.
I'm like, yeah, I was on time.
Good job, Craig.
I'm a fucking great tambourine player, Craig.
Did you see that shit?
He's more offended about the tambourine than being punctual.
Tambourine's important.
See, Gabe, this is why we have Craig on. That was great, Craig. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
my one-liner for the day.
That whole thing was worth every penny.
You're welcome.
That we paid you.
I'm getting paid.
I'm just kidding. Smiley's like, what the fuck?
We get paid?
No. Just Craig.
Just me.
Oh, that makes more sense.
But I pay him in like
British.
I pay him in like Canadian money, like
No, he pays me in Instagram messages at 1 in the morning.
You pay him with tea.
Those are worthless.
I'm gonna get 5 of those this morning now.
I'm gonna go look for some.
So I owe you like Craig. 5 more. Hold on,
Craig. Do you hate those? Do you hate it that I do that to you? Do you know why I do that? Because I love you.
I don't give a shit about that.
I think I like. See, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't send you.
I joke with so many people because they worry that they're offending me with the whole English thing, and I'm like, I normally just come back with, I'm an American citizen now, right? Like, I didn't do that just for fucking show.
We're waiting on the intelligence report to come.
I've got the certificate.
No, well, you can print those out.
No, this is a beautiful certificate.
Nice.
It's the best certificate. Anyway.
Careful. You never know what'll happen. No, I do that. Like, everybody's always like, why are you mean to me? I'm like, that's because I like you. If I don't like you...
Don't ever whisper that, though.
Well, wait till somebody starts up a podcast and be like, Chris, last week I heard you did a nasty. And we need to discuss it.
He doesn't do it right. He doesn't do it right because it's that's okay.
Nasty.
So Billy gets into these like phrases, and Billy's one right now is like nasty. That's how he. Yeah. He's trying to make that a thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. If it's a thing,
it's a thing.
It's a thing with little.
But everyone thinks that I'm the one that's saying that, and I'm like, that is not my catchphrase. That was totally Billy. He was on the show one time, and everyone thinks that I'm the one that was saying it.
What is your catchphrase?
And then I think it was Billy at the same episode who's like,
fantastic.
I've seen Little Bobby get angry.
Oh, yeah.
But he's one of my favorite people.
No,
he said those two things like right next to each other. I was like, okay, that's good.
See, the first time you had the show, I probably was like scared to tell you anything, but now I'm not. So, like, I heard back in the day, you used to fight all the time.
No, it was only twice.
Okay. People would be like,
for 3 months at a time.
I heard you and Joey Bolt used to fight all the time.
Joey, the drummer from Red Like Hammers? I've never fought that person.
No. You didn't fight each other.
No.
Just fight.
Wow, I've never even heard that he was a fighter.
Yeah, I never heard that either. And to me, he was always like the nicest guy.
No, well, then one of the things when I heard Billy say that, I thought, well, hopefully when he said, I've seen Little Bobby get angry, I hope most of that he meant on Facebook.
Oh.
But I don't know. If he was around the 2 times I had
I've seen Little Bobby with Facebook courage like none other.
Exactly.
No, I heard like you guys would,
that's weird. I never heard that about Joe either.
I heard that you and Harry would go downtown and people would like, bro dudes would be like, they'd call you the F word.
That did happen one time in Nob Hill.
Okay.
That was,
and then you guys beat the shit out of him.
And he never did it again.
I did it one more time. I had a wrestling match in 2010 with a guy. The show that Poncho actually played that's on YouTube. Yeah. You can see, like, there's so many stuffed animals going around. It's a Burt show on a weekend. It's packed. People are ripping animals apart mid-song.
Okay.
And at the end of the show, some of those people that were extra worked up, a couple drunk guys, one guy started walking out with stuffed animals, and I asked him, I was like, hey, those are ours. And he turned around and kept walking. This is at the, breezeway at Burt's between the 2 doors.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man, those are ours. And he turned around and he goes, fuck you. And I grabbed him by the ponytail and took him to the ground. There was a wrestling match.
Man.
Not exactly a fist fight, because the whole time I was just, protect face.
Yeah.
And we just kept, he had this big ponytail, and I just kept taking him down to the ground.
I remember
wrestling with him over stuffed animals. It was not good.
It's funny Billy said that, because I almost saw Billy get in a fight one night at Burt's, which is crazy, because like I've seen Billy get pissed twice, and I've known Billy probably like 14 years now. 13 years probably.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm just
How long have you known Billy?
I'm trying to like think that in my head.
Just say
so
yes.
I've seen him get mad like twice,
correct,
right?
Sir.
So and it was at Burt's Tiki Lounge, right? Because like it was one of those things where I don't know why we would do this, but like Burt's.
Was he pissed about the drums again?
No. Oh, 3 times I saw Billy get pissed.
I was like,
so like Blackbird, Launchpad, and Burt's Tiki Lounge were like our homes. Mm-hmm. All like not Craig, but like all Launchpad maybe for you.
Launchpad.
But like you know what I mean. And so we're in Launchpad this one night, and this fucking guy starts bullshit, like just starts wanting to fight the bouncers and shit. And I mean, the bouncers at fucking Burt's, like they weren't big dudes, but they'd fuck you up. Mm-hmm. I saw him fuck a dude up real bad one night, and like quick and fast. Like, I don't know if those dudes were like special forces or some shit, but man,
they're sober and they're dealing with people that aren't sober. That's one thing.
They have that superpower going for them.
Yeah,
like,
but
excuse me, drunk sir.
But that's the thing. They stomp it down quick. So they're getting a fight with this dude, or this dude starts lipping people, and Billy's like, just starts screaming at the guy, and the guy's like, "Fuck you! I'll kick your ass!" And I'm holding Billy back. And the guy's like, "I'll fuck you up." And I turned to the guy and I was like, "You need to shut the fuck up right now." And I put my finger right in his face. And then they got him. Like they saw it and they were like, And Billy was like, he kept like wanting to run outside and fight the guy. And I'm like, I don't know if Billy could fight. Like, I don't think, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue.
That's why you have to hope they have a ponytail, and you grab their ponytail and you take them to the ground so that they don't punch you in this beautiful face.
I've had to do that a couple times. I had to do that for Billy, and then Josh Williams. One night we were at I
don't know if Josh knows how to fight either.
Oh yeah,
it'd be like a weird thing.
He was a bouncer at Anodyne for a long time.
Doesn't mean anything.
I know.
That's
I sure know.
He was.
Yeah.
He's very tall and athletic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure his bouncing skills were like this.
But he's
Move over there.
He's also very smart.
Yeah, there you go. So
I'm sure he just talked his way out of everything.
One night we were at Moonlight Lounge, and there's a dude that's just drunk and trying to just start shit all over the place, right? I'm watching him. So, like, when I was in college, I was in a fraternity, and, like, I was the president at one time, so, like, we'd have parties, and so the fact that, like, I could be sued, and, personally, I was like, whoa. So I, like, learned how to, like, read body language and watch people. So we're in Moonlight Lounge, and this dude is, like, he's, like, bumping into people, and he's like, what the fuck, and all this shit. And he tries to start shit with two different people, and I'm watching the whole time. And he bumps into this dude, and the guy spills his drink, and the guy's like, whoa. And he's like, what, you want to fucking do some shit about it? Like, the kind of, he's like, that kind of shit, right? Jeez. So then he turns around, and he backs right into Josh. And Josh turns around, and Josh has just got there, and he's like, whoa, what's up? And the dude's like, what the fuck? Fuck you. And Josh is like, fuck you. And the dude charges him. And I'm standing to the left of Josh, right? And Josh is squared up with the guy. And I am facing Josh, like facing Josh's like side, right? The dude gets close, and I just stick my arm out like I'm a mom, and I stop the guy cold with my left arm. Stop him dead. And I grab him and I go, no sir. And I start dragging him, and I push him out the front door of Moonlight. And I tell the bouncer, I was like, this dude's starting shit with everybody. And they stop him from getting in, and he's like, that guy tried to fight me. And Stu comes in, Stu Troy, and he's like, what's going on? And I was like, dude, I watched the guy back into that lady and her boyfriend, and they almost got in a fight. Then he knocked that guy's drink on the ground, and he would fight him. And so then Stu's like walks over to the bouncer, and they're like, you're 86, you're not allowed here ever again, to the guy. And the guy's like, I'm gonna wait out here for you. And I was like, fine, I'll come out there. And they wouldn't let me go outside. I was like, I'll fucking stomp your guts on the sidewalk, because he was wasted. I was like, but that was I forgot about that night.
That is so like ridiculous. Like, you and Josh, like some of like the tallest people you can see downtown. I'm gonna
I was probably rolling about 265 at that point. Like, good luck, brother.
I'm like, those are the dumbest people you know. No.
But it was really weird, because like I've never seen Josh. Like
I used to play paintball with Josh.
Really?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's smart. He's
legend of the music scene, right?
Athletic and smart.
What was the band he was in back in the day?
For a long time, it was Mendyset.
Mendyset, yeah. That's right.
And they were one of my favorite bands, for sure, for a long time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I used to play paintball with them on the weekends, and those people were like the most casually nice people in the world until you play paintball with them, and they're like Rambo.
Yeah.
They're like,
well, dude,
I came out of a bush with a knife in my hand.
See, and Marty talks about Josh back in the day when he was like a mod. He was like, yeah, I would go. He's like, I remember you. Because like he was like, I remember being in a bar and you guys beat some dude up and hit him with a pool cue, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Josh did. I love this tour of the Rio Grande says hell yeah, just hell yeah, I like that. But like, I feel like I missed out on this whole like late '90s, early 2000s Albuquerque, But
You
then
did.
I hear some stories like
You
the
absolutely
skinhead
did.
stuff and all that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't miss that. I'm glad I missed that.
I don't remember the skinhead stuff.
That was earlier than that.
Oh, that was earlier than that.
I missed
Okay,
Yeah, that was earlier than that.
My
That
friend
was-
Sabrina
that was-
talks about that.
That's
so.
when I was like a.
There was like
12.
a dude named like Sabar, and he would like fight all. I mean, I don't know. It's so weird because people are like, downtown is dangerous, and I'm like, I don't remember the last time I saw a fight downtown. Like, it's been so long since I've seen a fist fight downtown.
Right. Don't you
Now-
remember all the horses that came through to like knock people over?
No,
Stop
no.
fighting.
They still do it.
police horses?
They brought them back. They're back.
Oh, nice.
And I don't
miss the
even get
horses.
it. Like, I'm like, are people, because I haven't seen a fist fight, and I mean, that doesn't mean they're not happening. But I remember back in the day, you'd see them. And then now it's just every once in a while somebody gets shot.
You just.
But you don't see the fist fighting. But then there's also like, someone's like, oh, you haven't seen a fist fight? And I go, yeah. And like, I was telling somebody from out of town, they're like, really? And I was like, well, we have this thing here called a very famous MMA gym. So you might be leery to get in a fight with anybody downtown because they might beat you senseless and put you in a coma. You don't know. Like, you really don't know, right?
That
'Cause-
guy's in pretty good shape. I might get my ass.
You're all,
handed
he's
to
a
me.
little guy, but he does look like he's.
But he does have cauliflower ear.
He does have
I
cauliflower.
better leave him alone.
I don't think I want to be paralyzed. It's a thing. I was like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with people downtown. You know.
He's been hit so many times in the head that his ear is disfigured. And he's still walking around.
Tour of Rio Grande says, yeah, breweries killed the drunk downtown fight. I guess they're all in breweries now. Actually, last time I saw a fight, or almost a fight, was at Marble. And then they chased a guy, and then one guy goes, I'm going to go get a gun from my car.
Oh, that sounds like Marble.
It does. Sadly.
Wow.
Well, that sounds right.
And that's the problem. People don't fight properly anymore.
Correct. Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
I'm gonna cheat
With
now.
fist.
You beat the shit out of me, I'm gonna go get my boys. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go get a gun. I'm like, people don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they have brought back this bare knuckle fighting. That shit freaks me out, man. Everybody's like, do you watch bare knuckle? Okay.
Dude, I am still hurt from beating up that coyote the other night.
UFC fighters don't need to paintball. So
Was that his name?
I get okay.
No,
I,
it was an actual coyote.
I used to watch MMA like pretty regularly, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with boxing. I'm fine with MMA. Bare knuckle fighting is a little too much, but the thing I don't get at all is the slap thing. There's
the professional slapping competitions?
where they take turns slapping each other. Well, there's no defensive skill to this whatsoever.
Can I just quickly say,
Yeah.
you're talking about bare knuckle fighting, and I'm thinking of people like, and then they start like slapping
No,
each other.
no,
and I
no,
was
no,
like,
no,
what the
yeah.
fuck?
No. The thing where the people take turns slapping each other.
Yeah, no,
and then until one is like completely knocked out, which
Jesus.
has to is going to cause brain damage to people.
Jesus.
There's no, but like I'm like what's there's definitely skill in the slap itself because you want to slap the guy in the right fucking place and knock him out. But like there's no defensive skill.
Are you sure there's not poise at all?
What do you mean by that? I don't understand what that means.
You're taking a hit to the face no matter what.
just a blind hit to the face.
Yeah, but I mean, if you do dance or anything like there's poise. You can just take a hit to the face. That's like part of it. You've made yourself into like a statue, and you're just gonna.
I don't know if that would help.
That's poise.
Because if they hit you in the right spot, it's going to knock you out. Like when you get hit in the chin, it's not here that knocks you out. It's where your chin connects that knocks you out.
Yeah, so you work on your neck muscles.
That wouldn't help. It's not that. It's the bone going into the actual thing. It wouldn't help with them. There's no defensive skill to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But everybody's like, oh, it's the new thing.
I don't want to try it.
I know absolutely nothing about it.
You never watched it?
Okay.
I'm assuming that it just works off of dance.
It's
everything
crazy.
works off of dance, right?
Yeah.
They chalk up their hands and they just.
Holy Jesus. In the 70s, this is Kathy Schroeder talking about her husband Phil. In the 70s, Phil was a bartender and carried a slapjack. He put a guy's head in a toilet and kept dunking it.
Wow.
Do you know what a slapjack is?
Not a clue.
I've made one of those before.
Okay, so here's what it is. It's a leather, like long, like just basically, I don't know how to explain it.
I've made one out of a padlock and electrical
yeah.
tape.
So it's basically like a long, like leather.
You can make it out of electrical tape.
Thing with like lead in the end. just like lead powder in the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also known as a blackjack.
And a blackjack, and it's flexible. So because it's leather, it's just like a leather like cylinder with just like lead powder in it, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's like flexing, like imagine like, and it's heavy as shit because lead, and you just whack someone in the fucking head with it.
Yikes.
That's a sock with pool balls in it.
Or you'd see a pool ball. To me, a pool ball is awful, but a padlock would be worse because padlocks have corners.
Well, that's why you wrap it in the electrical tape.
So when
but you still get the flexibility.
So my father was a policeman before I was born.
Apparently, I've beaten up much more people than any of you.
Right. Well, so my dad was a policeman before I was born, and this was in the 70s. So I guess the laws were not as He's all, I would wear sap gloves, and I was like, what were sap gloves? And he's like, they were leather gloves, and they had lead powder in the knuckles and in the palm. So when he hit somebody in the face, like it fucking
you
knocked
could like slap. Those are some slap gloves in the palm.
Oh Jesus! Kathy Schroeder says they grabbed me by my.
Whoa.
It begins with the P. Ooh.
Maybe they were running for president.
Yeah. Tour of Rio Grande says Slapjacks is a great cereal name. Till you get knocked out. What happened to you? Why didn't you show up to work today? I was eating Slapjacks. Now I have brain damage.
Padlock to the back of my head.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just remember my dad telling me a story. Like he would tell me that like there was a guy in the jail that was like screaming, and so they called him and they're like, "Can you come and shut this guy up?" And he drove back to the jail, went downstairs and just opened the cell and knocked the guy out.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, that. Why did you stop being a cop? He's like, yeah, they started,
things changed.
He's all, yeah, they started. The Mad Max era was over.
A thing called human resources.
Human resources happen.
My dad was a police officer.
Human rights. Oh, Big Bobby?
Big Bobby's.
I met Big Bobby once.
Yeah, you mentioned that recently, and I'm trying to remember where. You said
I'll tell you exactly
where you were working or hanging out.
Nope. Hanging out. Blackbird. You just finished a marathon.
Well,
and you walked in, and you walked in, and you were like hurting because you just ran. You were like, ow, 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 and he's all. I was like, it's little Bobby. My parents were there, and you're all, well, this is Big Bobby, and I was like, oh hey,
nice, yeah. He came into town for several of those.
Nice, so very cool. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you,
Craig. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate you.
You got a show
Thursday at Launchpad.
Nice. What time?
We're 4th, so like 10:30.
Well, who else is playing?
Ghost Costume, and then it's Duke City Riots. It's their vinyl release, and then Youngsville, and then Shoulder Voices on Thursday.
Youngsville.
Exactly. Segue.
Nice. No, I'm just kidding. Good stuff. Good stuff. Youngsville. Carlos the Tall. I always tell him, I'm all, you're not so tall.
No, he used to be.
And he goes.
He used to.
I always. Whenever I always walk up behind him, I'm all, you ain't so tall. That way he knows who I am. Craig
used to be.
Craig, what do you got going on?
Not a lot. Just my vacation down to the mighty Carlsbad and working on music.
That people want to know. Go see you. Where do they find Gilead Rises stuff?
Gilead Rises is everywhere. All of the streamies.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp, all there. And then my solo stuff is what it says there or here.
Yeah. Okay.
Craig A. Buchanan.
Nice. Every once in a while, it'll be all Craig's noodling on the guitar.
That's right. That's what Craig noodle time.
Yeah.
One day I'll surprise you. You'll be like, oh, I didn't need to see him.
That's
noodle.
an English term, isn't it? Noodle.
I guess. I don't know.
No, people noodle for fish.
I heard David Gilmour said we used to noodle on the guitars.
You noodle on the guitars.
That's when I first heard it.
And then if you want to see Smiley and I out in the wild, we will be at the Southwest Comic
Artist
Convention. See? You need to help me here. 11 a.m. Saturday at the Shriners Hall.
Yeah, at the Shriners Hall. We will be there. We will be as entertaining as it can possibly be at 11 a.m.
I'll see if we can get Andy Kuhn on. That'd be cool, right?
Oh, my God, that would be amazing.
They asked me if I wanted anybody. I was like, okay.
I don't know. You need to give me the info on this. I need to know who's there. Like, I need to know what comic books I need to bring to be signed.
Okay.
That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant
because Andy Kuhn.
Heroes in a Half Shell.
Ninja Power.
They're on a mission. Make the enemy wishing that they'd stayed at home. Turtle Power.
Turtle Power? Ninja Power. I don't know.
Turtle Power. You remember that song?
Yes.
No? Oh, okay.
I remember that.
Yeah. They used to bump in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday night, Duke City Championship Wrestling. It doesn't sell out because you can fit a lot of people in the El Rey. There will be like 500 to 600 people in the El Rey. You going to go? Yeah? Okay. Did you already get tickets?
No.
Do you need in?
Maybe.
How many? 2? Okay. I got you. But they won't be seated. Do you need seated? Okay.
No.
I got you. What's Aaron Campbell?
Oh, he's an artist. He's a local artist.
Oh, okay.
Comic book artist.
Okay, cool. So Friday night, Duke City Championship Wrestling. For people that watch wrestling, if you watch the WWE right now, one of the big people in WWE right now is Jacob Fatu. Guess where he was a couple months ago? Duke City Championship Wrestling.
We got the promo.
So this Friday, Journey Fatu will be there.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Is that the next in 2.0?
It could be the next guy going to WWE. You could see him at Duke City Championship Wrestling this Friday at the El Rey. DCCWtickets.com. You can come say hi to me. Second Saturday I'll be at Almost AAA Cabaret. The next one maybe we'll have little Bobby, maybe we'll have Craig. We don't know.
Who knows?
I
could show up anywhere, and so could he.
Yeah,
I'll do the Triple X Cabaret. When is that?
All right. Well, it's been a good time.
Only once a month.
Yeah, I think it's been a good time. I'm glad you guys came.
Thank you.
Thank you for finally showing up, Smiley.
Yay.
He's got good timing.
I do.
It's been, from the bottom of my heart, 18 years of amazingness. There's never been a time of this show where I was like, you know what, I think I need to pack it in. And I don't feel that way right now.
And thank you for having me on the show for 10 years.
Fucking A, Smiley. Thank you for being on the show for 10 years.
Thank you for letting me fucking rock this shit.
God damn it, it's a love fest.
For 10 years.
Yeah. Some say
thank you for being so cool.
I try.
Oh,
we're all gonna thank each other.
No, I for real, like 18 years, man. It's gone by, and that's a kid.
It is.
That is a kid that is now ready to go to war or vote.
That's like 2 cats that have died.
Yeah.
In England, we say that's legal.
That's legal
because 18 you drink.
Jeez. Oh, I was thinking.
No. Ooh.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's 16.
They're asking who would you cosplay? Who would you cosplay as if you could choose any character from ever? I'll tell you my favorite cosplay I ever saw at a comic book convention because I've gone to a lot now. I'm not a comic book convention guy, but I get booked for them, so I go to all of them. So my friend Ming and I are the only two people at this convention that knew what the guy was. And he was Billy Jack from the movie Billy Jack.
Oh, Billy Jack.
So if I could probably do anything, it would probably be Billy Jack from the movie Billy Jack.
Wow. You have to have that hat.
Yeah, he did. He was, and I was like Billy Jack, and he was like, "Oh my God, thank you." Everyone thinks I just dress like this. So that would be mine. But Kathy Schroeder says, "Here's to 18 more. I'll be 90." Aw.
Wow.
And you'll make it because Dr. Ruth made it. Mm-hmm. And you're Dr. Ruthian to me. A cool lady.
Ooh. Are you having good sex, Kathy? Whoa! It had to be asked.
Well, maybe you should be having more good sex then.
Wow.
I remember Dr. Ruth.
All right. With that, we are 10 drink minimum.